Folks, we have day 2 of pads officially underway. Now, I could only assume based off of how these meetings were scheduled or these press conferences were scheduled, might be hearing from Joe Brady. They could throw us an entire curveball. Maybe we don't even have a press conference. I don't know. However, we did hear from McDermott yesterday, and I think we had quite a few takeaways from day 5 of practice, first fully padded practice. And day 2, again, we want to see some trends. I'm not going to lie to you. I was less than pleased with some of the updates that came out from the trenches. Sure, we heard of a couple of wins here and there, but today, man, I want it to be a trenches day. I want the trenches to dominate the headlines. Of course, we saw from our wide receivers, that is all well and good. We heard from the passing game, maybe some upticks in the run game. But I'm talking that I want updates from what our defensive line looks like. I want updates from what our offensive line looks like. Besides some of the storylines that are coming out that we just need to further assume that these units are making an impact. Yesterday, we saw a couple of plays and or updates where Josh Allen, quote unquote, had to scramble. So that typically tells you that the defensive line was getting pressure. But give me some damn positive news coming from this defensive line. I want to hear would-be sacks. I want to hear that Gregory Rousseau has been going off. I want to see some positive updates from Joey Bosa because we all know that we need that man to play a massive impact on this Buffalo Bills team this year. Day 6 of Buffalo Bills training camp, folks. I have been enjoying every single second of this series that we do on a yearly basis. And I'll tell you what, my goal for this stream is to recruit as many new members to the family as humanly possible. And by members, I mean people that just like to join and hang out with me Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. EST, breaking down everything that there is to break down pertaining to the Buffalo Bills. As always, folks, we have a like button goal today. Let's go on ahead and hit that thumbs up sign. What it does is it recruits to our live chat community. Our family is what I like to deem it as. So hit that thumbs up sign. 97 of you already in the chat, 66 to begin with. Let's run that up to 66 like buttons, guys. If you are watching, hit that thumbs up sign. We are consolidating every single piece of information that comes out of Bills camp today so you can stay informed immediately. Not at the end of the day when you're waiting on articles, when you're waiting on recap episodes that do not even air until 5 or 6 p.m. EST. You are working or you are out and about doing your errands or running errands, excuse me. I am going to keep you informed as the information crosses my desk. Another 3-hour stream, 3-hour-ish stream, if you will, is about to go underway. Sound off in the comments, guys. Let me know. How are you feeling? I need to give a giant shout out to today's proud partner, and I'm sure we are all familiar with them at this point. That just so happens to be our good friends, William Mattar. Folks, I would never wish a car accident on anybody, but say that happens, it's imperative that you find the appropriate representation. And if that's the case, look no further than our good friend, William Mattar. Number one guy in the state of New York, folks. His phone number is on the screen. Keep that top of mind in case you are ever in that situation. Bills training camp. Guys, as you know, I am nosy. Roll call in the chat. Let me know where you are tuning in from. I'm always curious to see how far Bills Mafia extends. I feel like we have had a unique place of viewership each and every single episode. I've seen someone from Singapore. I once saw somebody from Madagascar. I'm not sure if that person was trolling me. However, do not be shy right now, including the lurkers that perhaps never contribute to the live chat. That's completely fine. But let me know, folks, where are you tuning in from as we gear up for day 6? Look at that, man. Have the boys coming in. Have Josh Allen. He's accepting his 99 overall Madden rating. Let's see how everyone's doing, man. Sound off. Do not be shy, guys. Day 6, day 2 of fully padded practice. Roll call and let me know your thoughts. We have Dirty Dan. Danny boy, what's up, man? Doing a hell of a lot better than I deserve. I promise you that. Morning, Tommy and Scott B. Hot one, Dan. Billy, I'll tell you what, man. I never leave the house between June and August while living in Florida. It is quite simply just not worth it. We have share and subscribe also. Also, Beanie Man, absolutely. What's going on, my guy? Morning, Buffalo Snowy is in the building. Connecticut Bills fan. Does Bass not train during the offseason? A pelvic injury is quite concerning considering he only went 4 of 8 on field goals during last practice. So, number one, Connecticut Bills fan, I think you may be referring to my guest last night, the thigh doctor. I wouldn't be surprised if he ultimately ended up causing that injury or aggravating it during that day. Those field conditions were very wet and very sloppy while he was attempting to go for his daily field goals. So he could have very well injured it during that time. I feel like we just need to cross our fingers and hope for the best. Hopefully we hear some update from Tyler Bass, because say that it is as bad as Thigh Doctor thinks that it is, we could be in the market for a kicker for at least 2 to 3 months. Hopefully it's nothing terrible, but that's just something to keep an eye out on. Man, we have Norfolk, Virginia in the chat. Sean McDonald, welcome to the show, folks. Roll call in the chat. Do not be shy. Buffalo, New York. Maya is in the building. Wales is here. Good morning, Dan. What is going on? New York is in the building. Washington, D.C., EP, Texas, Largo, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Blue Ridge, Georgia. The UK is in the building. Inception 877. Hope all is well with you, my friend. Our friend over the pond, man. Morning, Tommy. Winstead, Connecticut is in the building, north of D.C. Glad to have a Wegmans near me. Go Bills. Mikey, he's a Wegmans guy, man. I can appreciate that. Back again today for the Dirty Roch. The Dirty Roch is crazy. I love it. Calgary, Alberta is in the building. Place is unknown. Mafia Sports Report. He says, nice try, FBI. There's no way that I'm going to let you know where I live, Dan. Good morning, Dan. Rhonda from Massachusetts. We have good morning, Dan. We have New York in the building. We have JA17 MVP Matted 99. Scream it from the mountaintops. We have Osiris saying she is here. I love that. North Korea using a VPN. JK, I am in Buffalo. Connecticut at work. Thank you for all of the updates and information. No problem, man. Listen, I am happy. This is what I would be doing even if I wasn't live, so might as well share it with the masses. You know what I mean? What's our options at kicker? It's pretty thin. So whether or not that we want to go for somebody that is an undrafted free agent to bring in, and this is just worst case scenario. If Bass is just sore, it's probably nothing to look at. But I would recommend once this stream is over to go watch my recent upload. It is a video that unpacked the entire injury report from yesterday, and Thigh Doctor went into some solid detail into the Tyler Bass issue. So I definitely check that out once the stream is over with today. Tad from Western New York, but living in Manhattan, Kansas. Go Bills. Tad, what's going on, man? In enemy territory, I see. Rain kicks are always hard. What's the story with backup safeties? Forrest, Owens, Hamlin. John, I'll be completely honest with you, man. The safety room probably has the least amount of updates that we have seen on the show. I have not heard a word from Forrest. I suppose that no news is good news, like meaning that he's not absolutely wafting at his opportunities. But I still think all of the positive reports have been centralized around Taylor Rapp, and Hamlin has made a play or two. But as far as some of the depth players, have not heard a peep, quite frankly. Signed Justin Tucker. He's suspended for 10 games, and I'm not sure that he would be a culture fit for the Buffalo Bills. Don't we already have a kicker? Signed one last year. I think Tyler Bass is the only one on the 90-man roster right now. We had 2 punters at one point, but let's see. West Side, Buffalo, Lackawanna, New York, Chesapeake, Virginia is in the building. Guys, do not be shy. Let me know. The mountains of Virginia. Tell you what, that is a beautiful place. Woodstock, New York, Fred, hope all is well, man. Virginia in the building. Panama here. Hello. Go Bills from Jacksonville, Florida. Bolivia, North Carolina. Go Bills. Let's go. Sean, hope all is well with you, my friend. Dan, what would be the cheapest Bills game to go to this year? It's tough to say, man. I would probably say, so were the Bills playing the Saints away or at home? I'd probably say the Saints is probably going to be the most affordable, but I would definitely still check. New Orleans is in the building. Maria, what's going on? Hope all is well. I'm from Iran. Okay. We have Buffalo, New York. Signed Justin Tucker. He's suspended for 10 games. So that would not help us. Go Bills, Virginia. We have been traveling the country in our RV, but are back in the 716 for a couple of months. Judy, I got to tell you, I will now live vicariously through you. That has been something that I would love to do one of these days. I hope that you've had a great time, and I am glad that you were able to sort of unwind a bit at home. Man, dude, traveling the country in an RV sounds like the life. Space Coast, Florida is in the building. Dwayne, how you doing, man? Win one for Josh. Go Bills. Go Buffalo from Missoula is in the building. Buffalo forever. Tim Casey, Michigan. Tim Casey, what's going on, my guy? Ben Simmons will also fit into Cleveland. All right, guys. Thank you so much for that roll call. As you know, I'm nosy. And I'm always curious to see, where you guys are tuning in from. I want to know, like, what are y'all's lives about? But I'll tell you what, one thing that we all have in common is that we are thrilled to see exactly what comes out of camp today. Because like I said at the beginning of this video, we heard a few storylines yesterday from padded practice. It's nice to hear that receivers are still making plays. It's nice to hear that Keon Coleman seems to be taking a step in the right direction. It's nice to hear that Matt Milano looks like Matt Milano in at least certain factors of his game. But again, guys, I need to see something from the trenches and not things that you need to really dig deep and draw conclusions based off of context clues. I want to see headlines from the defensive line today. I want to see headlines from the offensive line, specifically from our rookies. I want to see TJ Sanders because yesterday he missed vast majority of practice, if not all of it. He left with trainers. He came back toward the end of the day. So still haven't really gotten a quality response on the young man, maybe outside of the first couple of days. But again, like that was 0 pads. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. And same thing with Landon Jackson. I really didn't hear some sort of crazy headline from him yesterday. I got to see that. And same thing with the offensive line. Of course, with the exception of Tylen Grable, who sounds to be worth each and every single penny. But here we are. We have Saratoga, New York in the building. Hey, Dan, what is the injury with Elijah Moore? From what I understand, oh, here we go. Joe Brady's on the podium, folks.
I don't know if you guys talk with him, you might get absolutely no words out of him, or you might not get him to stop talking, right? He's Ivy League guy, but you put the pads on, he's as nasty as they come. And the biggest thing with him is it's not too big for him. He understands it all. And now once the pads come on, can I play under control and play with detail and execution and technique, and still play with my physicality. But I've enjoyed working with him. I enjoy his approach, his mindset, and I've loved everything I've seen so far.
On the other side, Zach Davidson, we know what he can do catching the football. With the pads on, the physicality and blocking, where have you seen his game evolve, and where is that?
Yeah, you can
smash that like button, folks.
Him, right? We see how much of a freak athlete it is, but he understands like to play in the NFL on the tight end, right? It's run game and pass game, and look, there's silver linings to everything. I never want anybody to ever be injured, but just like Jackson Hall, Zach Davidson, with some of the injuries to the tight end position, it's given them a lot more opportunity, and both in the run game and the pass. And like it's as important. Football is as important as it comes to Zach Davidson, and seeing his growth in the run game since we've been here has been a lot of fun. And look, he's still working through the technique. For any of the guys, it's one thing when there's no pads on the work technique, and now when the pads, just the coaching. But he's very intentional about it, and it's important to him. Is that going down? Did you guys hear anything? It's good. It probably wasn't. I probably didn't say anything. Yeah.
I'm sure. Cleo was up here a couple of days ago, really crediting you for giving him an opportunity when you took over as OC. What clicked, or what was the thing that clicked between you and him as you took over, as you were watching this team, go through its, whatever?
Yeah. Having Josh Allen as his quarterback naturally makes it. Look, the amount of love I have for Khalil Shakir as a person, but also as a player, he makes my life so much easier He's as selfless as it comes, right? And so it's so easy to coach guys when if we win the football game, it doesn't matter if he had any catches, and he'd rather that than have 15 catches and we lose. Like yesterday, he came out to practice. He knew it was going to be a run day, and he was like, "Hey, I set my pads. I'm ready to rock." You know, it's a guy coming off a contract. We're down some wide receivers right now, and he's just like, "Whatever I got to do, I got to go block." And
Why is it
I'll go
buffering?
do it. And you know, I saw his approach when he came in here as a wide receiver, and it's like he's a great example of a guy like, don't look at numbers, don't count, you just find ways to develop and continue to get better. You know, he got here and early in that year, he was inactive. His first year, his rookie year, and then injuries happen. He comes out, has an opportunity against Baltimore, and then he just continues working, and his approach doesn't change. And I think some of it was just given the opportunity. We had some injuries, you know, when I kind of took over, but Khalil Shakir is going to continue to get better. And we're a huge part, a lot of our success is because of him.
He seems to be unlikeliest number one receiver if you want to count him as the number one, but he seems, because of that selflessness, the lack of flash. I mean, even the car he drives. I mean, there just doesn't seem to be that receiver diva quality. He doesn't get into the trappings of the NFL.
Yeah, well, I think one of the things is like, what is a number one wide receiver? Is it style of defense? Is it production? Is it how they're being utilized? Like, there's not a lot of quote unquote true, undoubtedly number one wide receivers, right, in the NFL. You know, maybe even a handful. So just because a guy might be not your number one on one team, he might be your number one on one team. He might be somebody else. But I think Khalil just embodies it doesn't matter what I have to do. I'm going to do it. You know, you see, I think it was day 2, you know, he's running an absolute clear out route as fast as he can, open it up for.
Yeah, why is it buffering so bad?
For Elijah Moore coming.
Frustrating.
I think it was Curtis Samuel coming across, and he came back to the huddle, loving life, all is well. You know, we call that a Joe Brady route. Like, you know, you're not getting the rock, and you're just running for the love of the game. And so, but he doesn't blink. I got to do it. There's a game against Denver where we got a terrible look, and he had to go dig out a linebacker, and cool, he didn't blink, and he went doing. So, again, I can talk hours on Khalil Shakir, and I'm so excited to just continue to work with him.
James was pretty emphatic with us that I'm going to play on third down more when he was up here. He seemed like, hey, this is a part of his game. He really wants to take pride in. You also have other backs that are good on third down. What goes into that process of understanding where guys fit and what their roles are on third down?
Yeah, look, I think right now it's unique. It's a unique process because we have such a talented running back room with similar skill sets, but also guys that can both play in the run game and the pass game. And that's what's been so cool is we don't have a room that, hey, this guy can only run these runs, this guy can only do protection, this guy can only run routes. And so it allows us to be able to, you know, kind of do different things with them. Some of the a guy like James Cook not playing on third down last year doesn't have anything to do with his ability in the pass game or him not being able to handle the protection. Some of that is, well, we have these guys up. Ty did a great job on it. Hey, why take a couple more blows in a protection on James Cook? And when when Ty can kind of handle it. And so, but it kind of speaks to who James Cook is. Look, I know like with the contract situation, sometimes it can get a bad rap. James Cook is as good as a teammate as it gets, right? And he wants to be on third down. He wants to be, running the ball inside in the red zone. He wants to do whatever he's got to do. And we've just been fortunate with the type of guys we have in that room that we can play them all on third down. We can play them all on first down. And so some of that is just making sure the defense doesn't know exactly what's coming.
So it sounds like he was trying to save James Cook last year, not due to his ability, which is interesting. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
No, look, I think we just try to preach here, like we're trying to do whatever we got to do to win that football game. And as long as our guys can embody that, that's the most important thing. And when you start thinking about a potential contract, or you start thinking that I have to do this, I have to do that, you start pressing, you start probably not playing the way, you're capable of playing. And so, look, we'll see as things go. I've been with guys in contract situations, but a guy like James, like I think you guys see him out here, right? We'll throw a ball 40 yards downfield and he's the first one running to go make a block down there. So I don't worry about him as long as he just continues to be James Cook. We're going to continue to evolve this offense that it needs to get to, and I don't need him to do anything differently.
So we Talked to Connor McGovern a couple days ago, and he was talking about how Josh Allen has given him more responsibilities. How have you seen the offensive line take on more responsibilities because that group is so cohesive?
Yeah, I think you want to challenge the guys as much as possible. Anytime we can take a little bit off of Josh's plate, it makes his job a little easier. Like today, we're going out there. It's going to be 30 straight snaps of 3rd and 7+, right? And then 2-minute. Like that's as stressful as it gets for a quarterback, right? But that's also why they get paid to be able to play in the pocket, make those decisions. But as much as we can teach the offense line, the centers, if they can see it from a quarterback's perspective, they can at least get it started for Josh and not make Josh have to do it all. And so that's part of the things right now we're challenging, and we have the guys that can do it. And then Josh just kind of confirms it and goes, we're asking him to do a lot, and we put a lot of stress on them, and we have the centers that can handle it, and just the great communication. And look, we're going to have some mess ups today, right? It's the reality of it. I want that stuff to happen and kind of work through it, but you can see how it is important to them. And I hope the communication is at a high level. Just continuing to work on the things we're asking them to work on, not getting caught up on, hey, did I catch a pass? Did I drop a pass? Hey, am I working the technique? Was I where I needed to be? How should I run this release versus this guy? Like he's so intentional about everything that he does. I think sometimes you get the rap on Keon, like he's an incredible personality, but football is so important to him, and he wants to be perfect in everything that he does. And so I've loved what I've seen. You can see the levels of physicality with it. But as always, right, you just, hey, what does it look like from a day to day? Can I not necessarily stack days, but can I just, hey, whatever happened yesterday, can I take advantage of it today? And today's obviously a big down for wide receivers and have an opportunity to go make a play. So excited for it.
How would you describe Reggie Gilliam's approach to practice, and how important is a guy like him when the pads come on?
Reggie is, look, Bean has done an incredible job putting the roster together because we have so many guys that are a big reason for who we are. Reggie, he doesn't get a lot of love for what he does, right? He's a guy that opens it up for so many people, and we continue to evolve his game as the game went last year. But there's not many teams that have a fullback, be a fullback that can do what we do with him, and then go down on special teams, run down and do all of those things. And he's such a special person. He's so unique with his skill set. I mean, we're down tight ends. He's running, deep crosses. There's not a lot of fullbacks in the league. I'm not saying we're going into the game and targeting him as the primary with the one, but he's selfless. He's like, if I got to go do it, I'm going to go do it. And when the pads come on, that's obviously when fullbacks, are loving life a little bit, but he can do so many different roles for us. He's so important.
Sorry, go ahead. What does Lecky Lockie bring to the tight ends room?
I love Lecky. He's again, you get two tight ends that not a lot of tight ends in college football are doing a lot of the dirty, in the run game and working technique. And so it's been really cool that we have two rookies that some of that is obviously clean up their technique in the run game, but evolving the pass game, from that. And Lecky has just been waiting for pads to come on. I want pads to come on. I want pads to come on, right? He knows he's not a 7-on-7 tight end where, hey, just put me in a 1-on-1. But when the pads come on, that's when, he has an opportunity to show it. A great character, great personality, and you're able to see some of the skill set that he had yesterday for sure.
This is your first training camp with Mike White, obviously he came in during the season last year. What stood out about him, and anything now you've got kind of a full season under your belt working with him? Any takeaways from him?
Yeah, I think I might have said it last year when we signed Mike. When growing up playing baseball, Mike was just right below me, and so I've known Mike from the same hometown, basically his whole life. So I've always followed him, always been a fan of his game. He's obviously played, in this league, in this division. He was such a big part of our success last year in the QB room. Everybody always sees Josh's success, but there's so much more that comes with it throughout the week. And having Mitch, Mike, and Shane in that room has helped his game. It's been really cool. This is really Mike's first time going through the installation of it. It's really hard to come in right before a season and try to just learn the offense, basically learn just the game plan as it goes. I mean, he's running plays against the New England game that he's never repped in practice. It's like, hey, just go out there and play football, right? So, but it's been really cool to see his kind of approach, how he kind of sees things, because every quarterback sees it a little differently. And look, it's tough with some of the injuries with some of the reps we can't, but just maximizing all those reps. Obviously excited to continue working with Mike.
About working with Josh Palmer on a day-to-day basis now for a little while?
He's so intentional about it. He's as intellectual as it gets. He wants to know the why behind everything. Sometimes I have to just tell him, man, hey, stop thinking, let's go. But you can see after practice, you know, a route with Josh, like he wants to know the why. He wants to know, hey, how did that feel? What did that look like? It's been a lot of fun with it, because some wide receivers are just like, hey, you know, just I'm gonna run that line on paper, but he wants to know, like, hey, did I fool with the quarterback? What my body language? How he runs a route is going to be completely different than Keon, and so it's so important for Josh after practice. Hey, if I run this route and I got this DB, this is what that route's going to look like. But if it's Keon, so us just sorting through it, the communication. So excited that we got him and continuing to work with him.
To have a guy like that, I mean, John was asking about how receivers stereotypically are divas, guys who kind of do their own thing. Sounds like Josh is almost the other way, where he's so intellectual, you almost got to free him up a little bit. How different is it to coach a guy like that?
Yeah, I think receivers just in general get a bad rap. You know, like since I've been here, we have not had a guy that wasn't a smart wide receiver. We didn't have divas. Like, I know sometimes people can get the raps. They're not divas. It is hard to play in the NFL, and to be a receiver in the NFL and have production. You can't do that without understanding the game and technique and being an extremely smart wide receiver. Josh is just unique in the sense of like wanting the communication at an all time and asking Josh with it, you know? And so it takes time. We had a lot of new wide receivers last year. We got new guys this year. It takes, people think you can just roll the ball out and just throw and catch. I wish it was that easy. Unfortunately, we have a quarterback that oftentimes can make it look that easy, but there's so many intricacies that come with it. The body language, how they run the routes, what routes they run. And so as much as that we can talk about it out on the field, rep it, go into the meeting room, talk through it, and continue repping it. That's what's most important. I think the first day we did one-on-ones, him and Josh worked the exact same throw 3 straight times. 2 of them were incomplete. First 2 were incomplete. And I told him, don't change the route. The route was perfect, you know? And so we can't get caught up in the results with it. And so that's what something, you know, we're just talking with him is don't get caught up on it was incomplete pass. Like, it's us sorting through it, and a lot of fun to work with.
Joe, with all the injuries and getting to see some, you know, new faces, guys get more reps than expected, has anyone surprised you?
Well, it's I think it's really early. I don't like throwing just names out there. It's and especially the receiver position, it's guys getting opportunities that they might not necessarily have gotten, and it's how can they take advantage of those reps. There's guys that, hey, they might have only been getting 2 reps in practice, where now today they're going to be getting reps with Josh Allen. You know what I mean? And like, what does that stage look like for those guys? Is it too big for them? And I don't think we have those guys, but it's a great opportunity. I don't really blink when we have injuries, and I try to have our guys not blink. So it's just an opportunity for those guys. As long as we have 11 guys out there, we're going to be fine. Look, it's as tough as it gets right now for wideouts. We're down. It's the reality of it. But for some of the guys that if I told them before camp, hey, you're going to have to get twice as many reps as you normally would they be okay with it? They'd be like, heck yeah. And so I'm excited to see some of these guys kind of roll today. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just ended up hearing from our good friend Joe Brady, offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills. And I got to tell you, listen, I think that we learned a lot. And what's most important is that the Buffalo Bills, okay, are going to be throwing the ball, quote unquote, all over the yard today. That is verbatim out of Joe Brady's mouth, as the 2-minute drill and 3rd and long will be the emphasis today of all on-field exercises. So I think we are going to be getting our wish, because that is at least going to be telling us quite a few answers on the offensive line and also the defensive line. At the beginning of the episode, I said I need to see headlines from the trenches. We didn't so much yesterday, especially since yesterday was more of a run day. Like, that was the scheme of the first fully padded practice. But right now, guys, 2-minute drills, 3rd and long. This is beautiful. I really think that we are going to be getting several takeaways and some takeaways that we can walk away with and be excited about. Next up, he did end up discussing something that I think has been a talking point about James Cook for quite some time. And that was, Cook believes that he can also be taking these 3rd down reps. And I think when we look from an outside perspective that a particular player's number is not called in situations, it's a false dichotomy, meaning that we think that it's either he is out there or he is incapable of doing that job. Brady ended up highlighting this perfectly by saying, look, James Cook has the ability of being out there in third down. He can do it. However, we are blessed enough to have such a deep, running back room that we can get away with making third down Ty Johnson's job, by making goal line situations Ray Davis's job, by Ty Johnson. I think he basically just told us that if Cook was in a different system, that he could very well be a 3-down back. Just because we don't use him as a 3-down back does not mean that he is incapable. Again, we're going to have to see whether or not he gets those third down sort of opportunities. And if that's the case, can he back up what Joe Brady just said? Because that was a big talking point this offseason when people were arguing back and forth of whether or not that James Cook deserved the money that he was asking for. So something to think about, folks. Just because a player is not out in particular situations does not mean that he is incapable of getting his number called during that situation. That is a false dichotomy that we all can agree with. 216 of you are currently in the chat right now, folks. If you are just tuning in, I want to let everyone know that we are consolidating each and every single piece of information that comes out of training camp this morning. So please treat me like a radio station or a podcast that plays in the background while you are going about your workday. Whether or not that you are a blue-collar brother out there working in this damn heat outside, or whether or not that you are in the office and just scrolling through emails and going about your day-to-day, please feel free to roll with me for the next 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm going to be letting you know, breaking down everything that happens at Bills camp. All I ask is that when you come in, please hit that thumbs up sign, all right? Currently, there is 218 of you watching right now. We want to grow this family. We want to make this the largest live chat community in all of the Buffalo Bills content sphere. Same thing with NFL fans. Hit that thumbs up sign, guys. Let's get up to 200. I want to recruit a bunch of new friends because we know what makes this show is the live chat and everybody that contributes on a daily basis. 3rd and long in 2 minutes is the emphasis for today's Bills camp practice per Joe Brady, as we discussed just recently. Pads are on. We have Ed Oliver. Man, what can Ed Oliver do, man? Yesterday he made a play, specifically in the run game side of things. A lot of intrigue surrounding second-year edge Javon Solomon's development. This is per Alex Brasky. As many of you guys know, I have been a big fan of Javon Solomon. Just 2 years ago, he was my draft crush. I wanted him for the Buffalo Bills because he led all of college football in sacks. Yes, he went to Troy University. He was definitely not in an SEC powerhouse or a Power 5 conference by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been high. And let me tell you what, he's going to have some opportunities. Let's see what he does. And there's Landon Jackson's big ass over there too, man. What can he do today? It's a big day for the trenches, folks. It is a big day for the trenches. 237 of you rocking with me right now, guys. Hit that thumbs up sign. Let's lock in. Let's lock in and learn exactly what Buffalo is doing for day 2 of fully padded practice. 2-minute drills, 3rd and long exercises. What are we going to learn? All right. I am sitting here and I am looking at 107 like buttons have been smashed. We are at 108, guys. 246 of you are in here. We are trying to recruit the largest family in all of the Buffalo Bills content sphere. Let's do our part and grow our family even more. How you do it? You hit that thumbs up sign. No questions asked. All right. I ordered a CPR machine for Bob. Punch away, Dan. All right. Hey, man, listen, you know what? I've been trying to give Bob a vacation from these hands all off season long. Don't worry. Bob is going to be receiving several beatings this year. I can already tell you that. If anything triggers me today, like for example, if we see one of our players go down with an injury being added to the novel of an injury report that we already have, trust me, he's going to be catching this right cross. Make no mistake. Gave my daily thumbs up. Rob Shivas, you are the true MVP, my friend. Thank you so much. I'm hearing that Osiris Torrance is looking like a dude in pads. Is there any truth? I haven't heard that, but I will tell you what, I would not be surprised at all. He is one of the most slept on offensive line contributors on this team. He's very good. He's very good. And you know what? He may be looking for an extension sometime next offseason. And I'll tell you what we should be excited about. We have number 17 is checking in for duty, the MVP. Just stay healthy, Josh, for the love of God. 3rd and long, 2-minute drills. Ed Oliver. And then we just have some recaps of what Joe Brady had to say. Folks, the Buffalo Bills are taking the field, likely starting off with positional drills. And then directly afterwards, I'm sure we're going to start getting some 7-on-7 and 11-on-11s, man. Holy hell. Bills fans, we are here. You know what? We're going to have to do another roll call because we have doubled our audience since the beginning of this episode when we did our first one. Don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen. Roll call in the chat. Let me know where you are tuning in from. I want to see how far this audience extends. I'm always curious to see what the most unique place is tuning in. Yesterday, I think Singapore probably won. But if anybody is in a more unique place than that, let me know. And more importantly, how far do we stretch across the U.S., Canada, North America, the whole 9? Is Spencer Brown start if he does not practice? He is still on the PUP list. He has not been activated. He has had a flare-up with a back injury, which is a bit of a concern, but we will keep you updated with that. Tylen Grable has been doing very well from what I understand. It's going to be a day where I think we look at Tylen and see what he can do. Then Ryan Vandermark has been taking quite a bit of reps with the ones as well, but now is a very important time for us to be looking at some of the depth pieces that we might have. Let's go, Buffalo. Bob, yo ass is grass. Dude, listen, he's going to catch these hands one way or the other, man. We are 3 hours. 3-hour stream, he's probably going to catch a couple. I can promise you that. Had Jerry O talk about you yesterday. Heard Jerry O talk about you yesterday. What did Jerry O have to say, Brock? I'm curious. I'm curious, man. I am always hesitant to hear, like when, and so I'm always super hesitant to hear, like when like a national media guy like says something about me, because normally it's never any good. So I am curious about that. Cybo is going to break the bank next offseason. New article drop. New article is dropped by my boy Justin Morris. Folks, go to roundtablesports.net for all of your NFL blog pieces. Justin, one of our most talented writers on staff. Give him some love. We have Luis has come in. And by the way, I did see my boy Luis go into 4th and Forever yesterday and say, hey, Dan, you are the hardest working man in show business. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Brockport, New York is in the building. Massachusetts, West Seneca, Schenectady, New York, St. Louis, Missouri, 305. Our offensive line is dominant but underrated. I agree. We have Miami. We have Kelly is tuning in from Michigan, Cortland, New York, Buffalo, New York, Deltona, Florida. Iowa is in the building. Jacksonville, Florida. Man, look at that, dude. Lancaster, New York. Alex is in the building. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Alex, I lived there for quite some time, my friend. Sheesh, Baltimore. Saratoga, New York. Singapore is in the building. JTL, you are not from Singapore, dude. He's messing with me right now. 716, Chautauqua, New York. Crazy. Go Bills. Still in Floyd, New York. Dan, I'm making deliveries all over Chautauqua County. Well, Big Daddy D, I really hope that you can utilize me as a way to speed through your day and walk away a very informed Buffalo Bills fan. Bowling Green, Kentucky, originally from Lockport, New York. Pam Beers Derby, New York. Pam, what is going on, man? We have Buffalo is unique. It certainly is. Venice, Florida. West Palm Beach, Florida. Sandusky, Ohio, home of the great Orlando Pace and the great UFC heavyweight champion Kevin Randleman. Man, I like that. It was a good comment. Just talked about you were covering what you were covering at camp. So with Jerry O, guys, I'll be completely honest with you, man. I really only know YouTubers. Where is Jerry O a part of? What is Jerry O a part of? It was a good comment. He was just talking about you were covering. Is he on WGR? And Jerry O just mentioned that you spoke with Cook's agent. Nice. Tampa, baby. Gainesville, Florida is in the building. Mr. Recor. We have Raleigh, North Carolina. JTL is laughing. Greenville, South Carolina. Flint, Michigan in the building. Sean Henry. Hope all is well. Let me see. We have you are my man, Dan. Big Daddy D. My man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sending Bills hate from right behind you. Dude, chill. Chill on that, man. He's hiding in the walls, is what he's saying. Go Bills, Hudsonville, Michigan. A lot of Michigan in the chat. Hello, Dan. Bella, hope all as well. And with Jerry O is on Locked On live streams. All right, awesome. So Jerry O is on Locked On live streams. He said it on Joe Marino's channel. I love it. Jerry is part of Locked On Bills with Joe Marino. Nice, man. Nice. Well, shout out to the Locked On Bills boys. I appreciate that. Lackawanna, New York, Dirty Dan, Dover, Delaware. Jerry O is the former Bills O lineman who goes on Locked On Bills shows. Love to hear it. LMAO. Jerry O is an old offensive lineman for the Buffalo Bills. Love to hear it. Who is the higher floor and ceiling, Shakir or Coleman? I think Shakir was a higher floor, but higher ceiling, I think, goes to Coleman. It's hot in Central Florida. Good thing your show is cool. I'll tell you what, man. Listen, I'm sitting on the panhandle of Florida right now. It's probably about 96 degrees outside. I wouldn't know because I'm only outside at 5 a.m. in the morning. I get back at 6:30 from the gym, and then I typically don't leave until 5 or 6 p.m. EST at night. So I've been trying to avoid this absolutely brutal heat that has been all over the place. Man, we have Las Vegas, Nevada in the building. Go Bills from Atlanta. Luis Benito is laughing at my ass. Don't be laughing at you, boy. Don't be laughing at my boy, man. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Bills tight end Dalton Kincaid is back. Hey, there you go. All right. You know what? So that was a happy slap. Ladies and gentlemen. Dalton Kincaid, per Joe Buscaglia, is back in pads, only missed one practice due to knee soreness. I think that all of us can be happy about this because with Dalton Kincaid potentially being out and us starting to worry a tad about what he potentially was going to do, that's big news right there. We should all be very thrilled with this. We should all be very thrilled. Dalton Kincaid is officially back out on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hit that like button in solidarity and get excited. 267 of you in here, folks. I'm going to need each and every single one of you to hit that like button. Let's propel this out to the YouTube algorithm, and let's get our good friends to hop in and grow this live chat community. I can promise you that. Starting to see more flashes from rookie defensive tackles TJ Sanders and Deon Walker, with contact increasing in the past couple of practices, particularly Monday with the pads on. Both players impressed during run period on day 5. So with TJ Sanders and Deon Walker, man, that is big because one of the slept on things and one of the most complained about facets of this defensive line was the inability to make an impact on the run game, specifically in between the A and the B gaps. That's defensive tackle responsibilities. If we're starting to see this, then that's good. Because like I said, man, we have Daquan Jones and Ed Oliver. Those are our starters. We need these rookies to step up. We need TJ Sanders. We need Deon Walker, if their numbers are called, to make an impact. Because we don't have Ogunjobi until week 8. So we need them to. That is big stuff right there. That is good that TJ and Deon Walker are making impact plays because that's our second string. That is our second string defensive tackle room, our interior defensive lineman. So something to think about. Dalton Kincaid, man, there he is. He's back. Dalton Kincaid is in the building, full pads. He just needed a little rest day. That's completely fine. Don't overextend that knee because we need this kid. Now, I will say that Thigh Doctor is a little upset that Dalton Kincaid did not put on the muscle that we thought that he should have. Dude needs to put on them calories. Someone send him over to Barbell, all right, and order him like 3 orders. 3 orders, baby. Start stuffing down some beef on Wex. I mean, shit. Start pounding back some Garage Beer for the love of God, all right? Shout out to Garage Beer for being a proud partner over here as well. Like, dude needs to put on some damn weight, man. We need to get him back in, ready to go. We have ASMR, but make it football. Okay, interesting. Deon makes Ed and TJ look small. Walker? Yeah, dude, he's a big dude. He is a big guy. I'm not even going to pretend that that's not the case. Not even going to pretend that that is not the case, man. Let me go on ahead and lock this in. And so I just realized that And so I wasn't sharing the appropriate screen. Bear with me. The NFL MVP is in the building. We have crisis averted. Dalton Kincaid back on the field for practice again, missing Monday's session due to knee soreness. A mini beer party is what somebody is saying. We have Bills tight end Dalton Kincaid is back in full uniform Tuesday. Dalton Kincaid is practicing. Biggest piece of news that we have in practice today, a crisis is averted. Not nearly as bad as we initially anticipated. 37% of top 10 paid running backs make the playoffs. The worst rate among those 6 position groups. It's an interesting take. I really like it. Bills front office has been blowing smoke up our ass about Kincaid gaining strength and size this offseason. He obviously hasn't. Yeah, dude, listen. All right. Like, one of the biggest proponents of this is Thigh Doctor. He does not believe that Dalton Kincaid has added any size at all. So that's something to consider. Kincaid, man, he's too fragile. I'm sorry to say it. It's not that he wasn't talented, but his body just doesn't hold up. I mean, look, like, we were all hoping that he would come back with a couple more pounds of some frame, but I mean, we just didn't see it. Like, guy was ignoring his calories, apparently, or maybe he wasn't putting a lot of effort into it. Who knows? I mean, hey, like I said, no one was ever expecting Dalton Kincaid to be a beefy tight end, a guy that's going to miraculously become a quality run blocker or pass blocker. We knew drafting him that he was a glorified wide receiver, that he was a pass catching type tight end. We have Dawson Knox, we have Jackson Hawes that fits that mold. So, I mean, we just have to use him how the Chiefs use Travis Kelce, to be completely honest with you, although that Travis Kelce is good at blocking, but that's an entire different conversation. But what can you do? It says he's 240, 6'4". Isn't that about the same as Josh? Is it confirmed, though? Because that is a very skinny 240 pounds. I'm not sure if I buy that Dalton Kincaid is 240, but I don't know. Let's hope for the best. I don't want Kincaid to gain weight, and they drafted him that way. He was a wide receiver type tight end who is never good at blocking. I hate that the coaching always wants to change their bodies. Interesting. Everyone was worried about his back injury when he was drafted, and he's hurt every other part of his body besides his back in the NFL. It's funny how these things work. Zach Ackerman has come in. I have to agree with the Kincaid comment. Think we would fare fine with the Rook and Knox. Maybe we could get a weapon if we shopped Kincaid. That's really all he's going to bring to the table, is his ability in the pass catching game, right? Like, you ask him to be a force in run blocking or pass blocking, it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. But hey, you know what? For all we know, he goes out there and he quiets the doubters. I feel like none of us would be upset about that. Bearded Johnson is in the building. Bearded Johnson, man. He's been a day one of mine for a while. What's going on, dude? Hope all is well. Okay, so what do we do if Tyler Bass' injury is really serious? I don't think we have a backup kicker right now. We'd probably just have to go and find maybe a free agent. We'd have to see if we can work out. So we'd have to see if we can end up working out an undrafted free agent, perhaps. And there's a couple of names out there. But again, yesterday, what we pointed out was quite simply just worst case scenario. That's all it was. It was just worst case scenario for Tyler Bass. Hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully he just happened some sort of issue. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have Matthew Brunell has come in. What's up, Dan? Listen to you every day while I deliver packages. I am a FedEx driver from Plattsburgh, New York. Go Bills. Matthew, what's going on, man? I appreciate that. I really, really do. Guys, listen, I could only imagine a lot of you are already going about your work days. Please feel free. Please feel free to utilize this show as a way to speed by the day, right? I want to make sure that all of you stay informed, and especially with my boy Matt over here. He's driving, so he has to be safe. So I'm glad that he doesn't need to resort to scrolling through X to try and find updates, and he can just use me as his bridge into what exactly is happening over at St. John Fisher. So for any of you, and this is all season long too, folks, it's not just training camp. We have a show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. EST each and every single day, all season long. And I could imagine we're going to be having quite a few topics to discuss, like down to storylines, of course, game previews, special guest. Obviously, I have my Garage Beer hotline, which that I welcome several of you onto the show to have conversations with me. So stick around, guys. Don't think that this is the only thing that's coming out of this channel. I am dead set on keeping you entertained all season long, twice a day, Monday through Friday. And do not sleep. Do not sleep on my live play-by-play reactions of all Buffalo Bills games as well. We have Elijah Moore is also back at practice, folks. This is good news. Dalton Kincaid and Elijah Moore, ladies and gentlemen, are back. I was never so much concerned with Elijah Moore, largely because I knew that he was just dealing with soreness, say that you will. So he is back. So that's good. Guys, listen, yesterday was a very stressful time for us because we saw an extensive injury report. It was practically a novel, but it sounds like we have two names that are back from these quote-unquote maybe soft tissue issues. Dalton Kincaid and Elijah Moore are back on practice, man. And as AJ Cebulski has eloquently pointed out, throw that smile on your face. And let's continue to hope that these guys can stay healthy. I can tell you that while yesterday, several of us were a bit feeling some type of way about how large our injury report was. But I got to tell you, folks, as far as the injury side of things, we have lucked out, especially compared to a lot of teams across the league. Several ACL tears have just gone rampant so far across the NFL by itself. And let's just knock on wood real fast and hope that we don't have to deal with that here. If Kincaid put a ton of weight, he wouldn't be the guy that we drafted. It's a solid take, Sauer. If everyone can stay healthy and Kincaid and Allen get on the same page, we will have so much more separation from our offense compared to last year, for sure. As far as Dalton Kincaid's ceiling as a pass catcher and as a route runner, it's going to be pretty tough. So for people that are potentially entertaining the idea of, hey, I wonder if we could shop Dalton Kincaid around in exchange for another weapon. Last year, a lot of the regression of Dalton Kincaid, or the perceived regression, had a lot to do with him and Josh Allen just not being on the same page. A lot of it had to do with chemistry issues. When it came into off-target throws last year, Kincaid shared the most off-target throws out of anybody on this roster. And our boy Josh Allen won the MVP. This is not a knock on Josh Allen. I'm just trying to provide a bit of context for anybody that might be close to giving up all hope on Dalton Kincaid. His production, or his ceiling of production, won't be as easily replaceable as you thought. And as much as I love Dawson Knox and as much as I love the idea of Jackson Hawes, those guys are run blocking and pass blocking tight ends. Don't really trust a lot of them to go out and make some quality impacts here. I picked up a bunch of Elijah Moore rookie autos dirt cheap a couple of years ago. Hopefully they are worth it, especially after this season. I know it's a little bit of a hot take and not a common take, but I'm starting to wonder if Curtis Samuel will be reliable down the stretch. We keep saying that about Kincaid, but Samuel is hurt just as much. He is, man. Last year, he dealt quite a bit with a toe injury, or with a turf toe injury, and I think that was kind of the big reason why like 90% of his targets were behind the line of scrimmage, right? Samuel definitely needs to work into it. Also, saw Samuel is already dealing with a hamstring injury. I did see that. I haven't seen any report that he's out on the field, but here he is. Laviska Shenault, folks. He is my favorite to win this position. Somebody was actually my boy Tommy in the chat, was Mafia Sports Report. He was actually asking me about a gentleman by the name of Cordero Patterson. Cordero Patterson might be interesting. He actually was pretty funny about it yesterday. He ended up getting released by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he broke the news himself. Was actually super funny. Here, let me go ahead and pull him up real fast. Let me pull him up. Yep, right here. So he says, breaking news, the Pittsburgh Steelers release old washed up Cordero Patterson on his day off. It's hysterical that he ultimately ended up breaking his own news. All right. Because that was the first that I have heard of it. And many Bills fans are asking, Dan, should we be interested in bringing this guy into camp for at least some further competition? Now, he took the league by storm a few years ago when he was on the Atlanta Falcons. And let me tell you what. Let me tell you what about Cordero Patterson. He had his best season, all-pro season, while he was with our current special teams coordinator. Now, he is getting older, right? I don't think that Buffalo would use him the same way that Atlanta did a few years ago, but guy is a very talented kick returner. Say, for example, we have anybody else that goes down with an injury, or hell, maybe, for example, we could bring him in just for camp. It's not going to hurt for camp. It's not going against our cap, right? It's not going against our cap for a tryout and or an opportunity of potentially making this team. But if Chris Tabor thinks that it's worth it, I 110% would be on board with welcoming our good friend Cordero Patterson onto this squad for a tryout. Is it hot at Bills camp? Josh Palmer getting some relief. It must be pretty damn hot down at St. John Fisher. With the return of Laviska Shenault mixing in with Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman fielding punts on the jug machine as well, folks. Keon Coleman as well. Look at that, folks. Have Laviska Shenault. He's starting to take some punt and kick returns. It's hot at St. John Fisher. You have Elijah Moore is back in the building. Dalton Kincaid and Elijah Moore are back. Man, listen, practice is starting to heat up, folks. Again, if you are just joining, I got to tell you, man, Buffalo is going to be working on the 2-minute drill, 3rd and long. Today, I think, is going to be the day where we start getting some answers on the offensive line and defensive line production. That's what I want, is actual highlights and headlines from that side of the football. Because those two, especially our defensive line, is the one position group that I think we are so desperately needing for an advancement going into the season. Question, and do you know who wide receiver number 16 happens to be? Let me see. Bills number 16. Bear with me. Who is number 16 on the Buffalo Bills? Says Jay Brown. Let me see. Bear with me. I do not know. Chat, let me know if anybody knows who number 16 is currently. Statement. And so I work in a warehouse about 15 minutes from St. John Fisher, and the heat is absolutely just miserable. Yikes, man. Corbin, I am so glad you are utilizing me as your source today. Welcome into the show. Tyler Bass, not in pads for the second straight day. Looks like it did not practice. He is dealing with pelvic area soreness. Again, guys, that was a big update. Big update and a big speculation from Thigh Doctor yesterday. Let's hope it's not what we think it is. And let's hope we're not going to be in the market for a new kicker. And it is exactly just that, soreness. Damn, this is unrelated. But do you think anyone was forgotten with the 99 club? So I think the wrong Philadelphia Eagles offensive lineman was recognized as 99. I think Jordan Mialta is a better offensive lineman than Lane Johnson. That's probably the only gripe that I have. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma is in the house. Brian Dean, welcome. KJ Hamler has taken punts in the past. He has been exercising, and he's been participating right in those drills. Christian says, Dan, I'm heading to camp right now. My company services SJF. So I will be able to get some time to wash. Christian Valone, man, dude, safe travels to camp. Have fun today, my friend. And say that you notice anything at practice. Don't be shy, man. Let us know. Let us know, man. Guys, watch for Christian Valone in the chat if he turns out to be at camp, because he'll be able to maybe give us some news of what's happening over at camp today. Bring in Austin Siebert. Pelvis soreness doesn't sound good. It's not groin soreness, it's pelvis soreness. I would recommend you check out the video with me and Thigh Doctor. So I dropped it last night. So once the stream is over with, I would definitely take a look at it and hear your thoughts. What did they think the injury was that I missed the evening show? It has something to do with the bone of the pelvis, something that's common with kickers. Basically, what you need to know is say that it is what Thigh Doctor thinks that it is, then we could be looking at 2 to 3 months, and he could play through it, but it does really affect accuracy, and all of the kicks that he would be going through would be very painful for him as well. But again, like, this is just speculation. We don't have the real report for it. But so according to Thigh Doctor, he said that pelvis soreness is, so there's not many things of what that could be right outside of what he said. It's that or a sports hernia. And a sports hernia, that could require surgery. That's like 4 to 6 weeks too. But still, that's cutting it close. Derrick Henry should be a 99. Jordan Mailata has an overall rating in 95 in Madden NFL 26. I think Mailata should have been the 99. Say that I'm being nitpicky. If they were that concerned, we will see some kick visits really, really soon, for sure. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on that. And it's less than ideal that he's still not practicing today. Josh Allen and the QB camp chemistry is locked in. Tyler Bass not in pads again per Alex Brasky. Oh, we're having some things right here. Okay, we have Sanjeev is saying, admittedly, glass half full, but I'd hope the Bills are just applying an abundance of caution, pulling guys early before some of these injuries become larger problem. Has got to be smarter than pushing through now. I totally understand. And so I totally understand, man. Have to be careful. Have to be careful with all of these injuries. And Buffalo typically does err with the side of caution. It errs with the side of caution during training camp. Most NFL teams do. I'm not entirely convinced that these guys would be listed if we were talking week 1 or week 2, but they just want to make sure that they avoid some of the worst case scenario. I am so happy that Keon Coleman is showing up and showed his true potential. Man, look at that. Bills' first preseason game in 2025 will be against the New York Giants on Saturday, August 9th at 1 p.m. EST. Wouldn't that be solid? Is 16 Kelly? Yes, it is. I do not even know how to pronounce his last name, but it could be him. My hot take of the season, Dallas wins more games than Washington. That's a hot take. That's a very hot take, especially since everybody is so high on Washington right now. I don't really know what to say. Guys, 340 of you are watching me right now, breaking down and consolidating every single piece of information that comes out of training camp. Guys, I do encourage that you stick around all season long, because I'm trying to build a family over here in the live chat. I am one of the few guys, I think, that actually puts the live chat and engaging with my audience at #1 priority or top priority. So say, for example, that you are enjoying this up-to-date coverage of training camp, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up sign. Because when you hit that thumbs up sign, it tells YouTube that, oh, I need to go find more Bills fans to tune into this stream. I want to make sure that everybody in Bills Mafia is informed. For those of us that aren't lucky enough to be there in person, maybe a lot of us are working, and we just want to understand what is happening at practice when the information actually gets leaked. So do me a favor, guys. Hit that thumbs up sign. Let's run this up to 300. It takes less than a second. Helps me out tremendously. Welcome to everybody. By the way, great content, Dan. I am listening in from England. Bills fan since the late 80s. This is the year we get it done before I die. Sanjeev, I appreciate you tuning in. Our good friend from across the pond. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I hope so. Our biggest weakness last year was a significant talent drop-off once you went down to our second string. all off season, it sounds like that the front office put that at an utmost priority into addressing. If that's the case, then I feel like we're in good hands. But can we stay healthy when it matters most? Health is going to be the number one thing that Buffalo needs to be looking at this year. Several injured Bills players off to the side. Here we go, folks. All right. So this is our official and unofficial list. We have Bernard with hamstring still, Dorian Williams with the calf, wide receiver Curtis Samuel hamstring, Cedric Van Pran Granger calf, Caden Prather hamstring. They are all working, folks. So like Brasky just said, and shout out Alex Brasky. So I know that he's currently having some beef with a lot of Bills reporters out there. But it sounds like that all of this is definitely a positive sign. At least these guys are out there stretching and working back. I'm not seeing any significant injury, which is ideal. We have 89 GZ just came in and said, I finally caught a live. Well, let me tell you what, 89, thank you for coming in and showing a little bit of love, dude. I would recommend that you always turn on bell notifications so you know when I'm live. But for future reference, man, I am live at 9 a.m. EST Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. EST Monday through Thursday. So just have those bell notifications turned on, man. You know where to find me once 9 a.m. EST crosses your clock. DJ Finesse, I will be at practice on Thursday. I cannot wait. So let me tell you what, DJ, we are going to be waiting for you to provide some updates that maybe we are not seeing from this handy dandy Twitter list that we see, man. So we are going to be relying on you for some insight. So stick around, please. Think we will see more than 5-man pressures. Would love to see more stunts and twists on the defensive line. I would absolutely love that, but do we have the personnel to execute, right? Do we have the personnel to execute? It's nice now that we are predominantly running, right? The 2-minute drills and 3rd and long. So this is going to be able to give the defensive line some opportunities. Kelvin, great question. Solid take. Whatever works, whatever happens, we need to be able to get this pressure up front. Knicks 716. Hot take. Jacksonville and the Giants outperform the Dolphins and the Jets. Very hot take. All these injuries are all typical during this time of the year. It's definitely not rare. Patrick Fintech, just move Kincaid to a wide receiver position. Light of truth. I saw a report yesterday about a fight breaking out there in camp during 2 Bills players. Is there any news on that? Last news or last take I saw was Alec Anderson got into a fight 2 days ago. I'm sure there was a fight yesterday, but it's just not top of mind. We have Dawson Knox was removed from the NFL list on Sunday, but is yet to practice. And Knox was working by himself, doing some change of direction on day 6 on Tuesday. So he is gearing up to throw some pads on eventually. I think it's pretty fair to say that he has a roster spot locked up already. So nothing to see here. Although suited up, Elijah Moore is off to the side working with trainers. Shavers is also working. That's good. That is good, folks. Elijah, although suited up, is working with trainers on the side. So is Shavers. And that's good because Shavers was damn carted off a couple of days ago. That was probably one of the biggest issues that we had for a while. Haven't ran nearly as they should be, for sure. For sure. Question. What are your thoughts on the Joey Bosa interview on the NFL channel? He said he is not washed up yet, and I felt that no one thought that and felt kind of bad. He thought it was necessary to address those allegations. It's sports, right, man? It's sports. So I feel like people are so passionate, like those titles get attached to players very oftentimes sooner than what they should be. I mean, he's got to stay healthy, right? So I wouldn't say that he's washed up. I do think that he still has his performance ceiling available. But the problem is, like, dude hasn't been able to be consistent on staying on the field. So while I'm optimistic with Joey Bosa and hoping for the best, he's got to prove it that, like, he can stay healthy, because it is this old cliche. that the best ability is availability. So I'm going to remain optimistic, but cautiously optimistic. That's where I am. All right. I'm pretty sure they just went 8 for 8. Look at the QBs over there. Look at the QBs going 8 for 8 on the passing drills, gearing up for the 2-minute and 3rd and long day at fully padded practice. Hi, Dan, the man Mitchell, Broncos fan here. The Denver Broncos wide receiver Cortland Sutton just signed a 4-year contract totaling $92 million. I saw that. Congratulations to your wide receiver, man. He's a big piece in Bo Nix's development year 1. Excited to see what they do with him. Dan, what do you think about Trey White interview where he said he wouldn't be surprised if we see him starting week 1? And so I wouldn't be surprised either. And so right in the slightest, man. So I think when it comes into rookies, like rookies really need to impress right in training camp in order for them to win a starting role. It's very few exceptions. Based off of what I've seen from Maxwell Hairston, we've seen a lot more bad things than good things. So we saw some good plays here and there, but I still think he's getting used to the speed. He's still getting used to going up against a QB like Josh Allen, which is definitely a great space to be in, right? Because iron sharpens iron, right? But based off of the first couple of days, I would say that Trey White's probably leading the competition. So I'm not saying that Trey White is going to win, but just based off of the first 5 practices and going into the 6th, it's not crazy to say that Trey White is probably winning that competition so far, like based off of everything that I've heard. But let's make this happen. Do you think Joe Andreessen will have a larger role this year? Big baller. So I'll tell you what, man, listen. So according to Joe Brady, he said that he is no longer a good story and he is no longer just a special teams guy. He is being asked to do a lot more this year in camp. Let's see. So I do think that he does make this team. Yeah. So I think he will be the 5th linebacker. And then with the Ulifoshio is more than likely going to be the odd man out. But we'll see. Dalton Kincaid appears to be just fine after an injury scare on Monday, dealing with knee soreness. Shout out to Brad for putting this video out there. But yeah, guys, so looks fine to me. So I didn't see any limp. And so I haven't seen anything that could potentially be, holding him back or anything along those lines. So that's ideal. That is indeed ideal, man. Shout out to Dalton Kincaid for the recovery. Nobody is upset about that. All right. Let's see what else we have. Dawson Knox working a little bit. We have Dalton Kincaid running routes. Give me some damn updates from the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. Trey White also played for Baltimore a little last year and might be a little familiar with their offense in week 1. Obviously, things change, but familiarity is familiarity. Speaking of his time in Baltimore, his tape looked really good. We have to remember when he started off with LA, yes, he struggled. And I think I remember some clips circulating. It was super early right in the season, and he was getting burned left and right. But you have to remember, it's very rare for a player, although cleared to play football coming off of an ACL injury, where they're anywhere near what they used to be until about maybe a year and a half. You saw that Trey White was an entire different corner going into Baltimore. I don't think that it was the scheme. I think it was that he was truly 100%, that he got that confidence back. So as far as him feeling that he can go 100% out there. So don't sleep on Tre'Davious White. At the very worst, he is a very rock solid insurance policy for this team. Does Bale Inspector make this team this year, Dan? For the love of God, I hope not. For the love of all that is holy, my friend, I hope not. Okay, so we have an injury update from the Buffalo Bills per Joe Buscaglia, per Matthew Beauvais, whoever you want to put out there. We have a couple of these. Okay, so new Bills absences during Tuesday's practice. You have Mike Edwards, offensive lineman, heat-related from Monday. It's been hot out there. KJ Hamler, heat-related from Monday. Larry Ogunjobi gets a vet rest day. Alec Anderson knee, and Dwayne Carter is not feeling well with an illness. Folks, we have an update on the injury report. Update on the injury report, folks. Less than ideal, but nothing too scary. Maybe with the exception of Alec Anderson, who is our sixth man on the offensive line, a very, very solid contributor as well. So we will have to ask Thigh Doc. Maybe we can get Thigh Doc to call in on this episode a bit earlier so we can get a better understanding. But here we are. Guys, 350 of you are in the chat right now. In case you are new, I am consolidating each and every single piece of information that comes out of training camp, so you do not need to play catch up at the end of the day, or whether or not that you're like my one buddy that is currently delivering for FedEx. I can't have him scrolling through X. I have to make sure that he's listening to what we are learning from camp as it comes in. If, for example, guys, you are liking this show and you appreciate this while you're going through your workday, let's get that thumbs up sign up. I think there's no excuse why we can't get this thumbs up sign up to 300. This propels it out to the YouTube algorithm, guys. I am trying to make sure that we recruit as many Bills fans into this family, the live chat family, as humanly possible for the season. My show is and always has been about engaging with my audience, hearing what they have to say about the trending topics around our favorite team. So hit that thumbs up for me, guys. Let's run this up to 300. And also, it's been a while since we roll called as well. Roll call in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Always curious to see how far you guys extend across the states and across the world. I am going to use the restroom for a hot second, and then I will be back because I can only imagine 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s should be beginning momentarily. Here we go. Let's lock it. We have Puerto Rico in the building. Guys. Sound off in the chat right now. Do not be shy. I am talking to all the lurkers in the building too. All of the lurkers, you know who you are. Let me know. We have Puerto Rico is in the building. Buffalo Chris, what is going on, my friend? Sounds like we're having a good day today. We always have a good day over here, my friend. McMinnville, Tennessee is in the building. Midnight. One of our hardest games is week 1. Don't you want us to stay healthy? I still have leftover wings from yesterday. Enjoy. Central Pennsylvania, Port Charlotte, Florida is in the building. Miami, Pittsburgh, Bryan, Arkansas in the building. Detroit, Buffalo native, Mr. ATF. What's up, man? Ontario, New York is in the building from Prison Mike, Ohio, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Guadalajara, Mexico, Rodolfo, what's going on, my friend? Erie, Pennsylvania, Lancaster, PA, Surprise, Arizona. Super cool town, man. What's going on with Bills practice today? Folks, I am starving. I'm not going to lie to you. I am hungry right now. I might need to do a DoorDash order or something of some sorts. We're going to have to figure it out. But it's only 9 a.m. Central where I'm located, so I'm probably going to have to wait a little bit. Los Angeles, Atlas is in the building. We have lurking from West Virginia, John, West Virginia lurker, man. I love it, dude. At work, Tesla, South Buffalo, man. DJ Finesse, Saratoga, New York. Go Bills is in the building. All right, boys. 7-on-7's got to be starting soon. Okay. Bills rookie CB Maxwell Hairston is being tended to by athletic trainers. Currently talking to head athletic trainer Nate Bresky and walking slowly. He was down on the field for a bit, right leg being looked at. Trey White spoke to Hairston as he was being helped up. Okay, less than ideal. We have Elena Getzenberg has come in with an update on one of our rookies. And I think that deserves a Bob slap. Wouldn't you agree, folks? I think that deserves a Bob punch in the dome real fast, because that's the last thing that we need. He's slow. He's not being carted off, but that's good. But still, that's what it is. Excuse me. I'm going to pick up Bob real fast. All right, folks. Say, for example, that you were not familiar, okay, with my style or Bob back there. Bob serves as is my outlet of frustration that has to do with the Buffalo Bills. Say, for example, that you have ever tuned into my live play-by-play reactions. If something happens that upsets me, I typically give Bob a beating behind me. It's great. It's great. It does help me calm down a little bit. And I also think that it provides some sort of entertainment for those of you watching. So yeah, that is Bob, and have no fear. He never takes any breaks from these hands during the regular season. I can promise you that. But Maxwell Hairston, folks, has been added to the injury report with an apparent leg injury per John Scott. Walked off slowly off field with arm around trainer's shoulder. So that's less than ideal. That is less than ideal thus far. What can you do, though? What can you do, ladies and gents? What can you do? Dan is turning into Wilkins over there. LOL, JK. A playful kiss on the head for Bob. You know what I mean? And just call me Christian Wilkins. Made it to Mayville, New York. Mr. Carreras ate a lurker. Look at that, man. Look at that. Lurking all day. Bob definitely had that coming. He certainly did. He certainly did, man. He's had a vacation from beatdowns for the past couple of months since the season was over with. He got one really bad during the AFC Championship game, too. So I had to go on ahead. And I had to get him deep into an off-season training program, right? Like he was hitting the gym. He was down in some calories so he could prepare. I like that. I like that, man. That's a solid culture right in the roster of this YouTube channel, baby. We have Wide Right New York. Don't tell me that's real. Don't tell me that place is real. That place is not real. We have David D's coming in here. He's trying to break my heart over here. I'm being able to walk off even with help is an okay sign, at least. For sure. Let's get to September. That's all. Stay healthy. Sucks, but at least the cart didn't come out. At work, Big Daddy D. Look at that. Max Harrison left with a leg injury. It sounds like his arm was over a trainer's shoulder. And that's less than ideal, because he hasn't been having the best camp. And no slight toward him, but he really needed these reps, or otherwise I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to be looking at Tre'Davious White being the guy. Hey, Dan, how was my favorite Irishman these days? Who are your picks for Super Bowl 60? Clay? So I'm doing great, bro. And so I'm doing great. And I hope you are. So pick for the Super Bowl. And so I'm manifesting this Buffalo Bills team to be in Santa Clara this year. So Buffalo. And hot take. Very hot take for the NFC. Rams. Bills, Rams. Hot take, I know. But watch for them damn LA Rams, bro. A hell of a lot better. Look at that, baby. Come on. Come on. Watch this. Trey White, with the dominant rep in wide receiver DB one-on-ones, completely locked up Joshua Palmer before intercepting Josh Allen near the back of the end zone. White has been mighty impressive for training camp. Ladies and damn gents, did we just end up getting Tre'Davious White on this team again for an absolute steal? Is this guy coming back and showing signs of him being anywhere close to what he was prior to the injuries? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Guys, big news. Big news. Tre'Davious White coming in per Alex Brasky right here. Trey White with a dominant rep on wide receiver DB one-on-ones. Completely locked up Josh Palmer before intercepting Josh Allen. Guys, it's looking like he's CB2. It's looking like he's CB2. I mean, dude, I got to tell you. Dan, you are a smart man. It's going to be Bills versus Rams. Joseph, thank you so much, man. Are you a Bills fan or a Rams fan? I'm curious. That is my thought. I think that it's likely going to be Bills versus Rams if I'm a gambling man. Guys, 349 of you currently watching. I'm consolidating every single piece of information that comes out of Bills training camp right now. Out of the 347 of you watching, only 210 of you have hit that thumbs up sign. It's not your fault. And so I know that it's very easy to overlook. But do me a favor, guys. Let's hit that thumbs up sign so we can introduce this stream to other Bills fans that may want to take advantage of this consolidated coverage during training camp. So just go on ahead and hit that thumbs up sign. We are on a mission, guys. We are looking for 100,000 family members by the end of the season. So we're at 44,000 right now. It is a lofty goal, but say you're familiar with me at all, you know that I like to reach for the stars. So hit that thumbs up sign and let's grow this family to the damn moon. All right. I love this. I have always been a true believer in Trey White. I love this. Did Trey do some voodoo magic on Hairston to get the CB2 spot? Suspicious, very suspicious. I am not going to be upset about it at all. Honestly, I would feel more confident in Trey as CB2 in the Baltimore game than a rookie corner, because you know that Max Hairston would probably be targeted quite a bit right by Lamar. Trey White always been locking Miami when he was healthy. Statement, I don't think the league realizes how much havoc a healthy Trey and cornerback combo could do. Could you imagine if Trey White somehow were to come back and be as equally effective as he was prior to his injury? Could you imagine if Tre'Davious White and Christian Benford, Trey playing at his 100%? Folks, for some reason, I feel like that this is no longer an unrealistic hope. Pads are on. He locked down Joshua Palmer, who is, I'd say, the best route runner on this team right now. And he ultimately ended up coming down with a pick. Folks, what if Tre'Davious White is back? Trey White has always been locking down Miami when he was healthy. Trey White will lock up Zay Flowers. He knows the Baltimore playbook already. I'm sure that Baltimore was smart enough to at least make some sort of changes, right? And I'm sure that they're probably going to have. So we have Bills first round. Max Harrison left practice with a trainer apparent right knee injury. That's less than ideal. All right. Videos from Carl Jones. All right, guys, I got to make a video. Got to make a video, folks. Right as you were coming in, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up sign and let me know your thoughts. All right. Yeah. Hey, you know what? And so I'll wait for a video later, but I am going to go on ahead and like this so I can put it a part of my my training camp. That was really great competitive period. Trey White was fire, but his hands on Keon Coleman and kept him at the goal line before reaching over to knock the ball away. Guys, Tre'Davious White is back. Tre'Davious White is back. Obviously, we're putting prayers up. We are putting prayers up that Maxwell Hairston is okay. But is Trey White a baller again? Is Trey White a baller again? That is the question. All right, some notes, some extensive notes here from Alex Brasky. Shout out to Alex Brasky, folks. Solid coverage over at camp right now. I recommend you go give him a follow and let him know that I sent you. Allen to Coleman's slant beats Benford. Allen to Shakir outbreaking route beats Hancock. Allen to Palmer. White kicks him up before intercepting. Coleman reception versus Dane Jackson. Taron Johnson, great coverage and pass breakup on Coleman. Dorian Strong, pass breakup. Palmer beats Benford deep touchdown. Trey White, pass breakup on Keon Coleman. Shakir beats Bishop out breaking route. Poor Cole Bishop, man. Poor Cole Bishop. He's out here just getting absolutely cooked. He's getting destroyed out there. Is what it is, though. Is what it is. Shout out to Brasky for this. White with another well-defended pass breakup. Keon with a great grab over Dane Jackson in back corner for touchdown. Then Jackson gets the better of Deion Kane. Keon Coleman with a great grab over Dane Jackson. So again, Keon out here making a name for himself, folks. We are getting some updates, ladies and gentlemen. Man, this adrenaline is just pumping through me. I feel like I'm watching week 1. You have no idea. 378 of you in here, folks. I'm consolidating each and every single piece of information that comes out of camp. And Buffalo is so close into running their 2-minute offense and their 3-minute or their third and long drills today, where we can see from the defensive line. They just had wide receiver DB drills. And I got to tell you what, my biggest takeaway today, Trey White. Trey White, my friend, may be back. And no, this is not blind optimism based off of everything we have been hearing, based off of how he finished out the year with Baltimore. There is a strong possibility that Benford and Trey White could be starting CB1 and CB2. And dare I say, that's the best starting corner tandem in the AFC East almost immediately. Maybe a top unit in the AFC. Hell, maybe a top unit in all of the NFL. I don't know. First round, Max Hairston has left practice with athletic trainers. Appeared to be a leg injury. He's on the ground. This is less than ideal. Max Hairston was down several moments before walking off. Okay. Hopefully he's okay. It's nothing interesting. We will see what's going on. It's a good thing to have good depth behind the starters. Grandpa is in town and he still knows ball. Who's Grandpa? Me? Me? Jon Snow? All right. Bring Douglas back over Dane Jackson. No. So I think it's between Dane Jackson and Dorian Strong for this roster. I don't think so. With Rasul Douglas is a viable option for us. Last year, he was kind of struggling a bit. We have Trey. Jon Snow said Trey. I'm like, come on, man. All right, we have Coleman is only successful against backups. Whenever it's White or Taron, he gets beat. He had a really good rep against Benford yesterday. And he had a really good rep against Max as well. But, I mean, he is a rookie indeed. But he's fine. He's fine, man. I would not sleep on Coleman just yet. Trey White balling out, not bad at all. We are on a mission. Hairston failed the Tre'Davious White Goalie Academy of Louisiana at Buffalo. Dude, it's tough over there. 367 of you in here rocking with me right now, guys. I am sitting here patiently awaiting updates from 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. We have an injury scare right now with our guy. With our guy right now. Have a big injury scare with Maxwell Hairston, but he did ultimately end up getting up and he walked off. I'm trying to see if we can get a better option here. Here, let me fast forward. Okay, he's up. He seems to be okay. He's not getting carted off. It's hot out there, folks. For all we know, like, maybe he just has some cramps or something along those lines. Who knows? Is Max Hairston injured? I just joined. Yes, he is injured. He walked off of the field. Personally, loving Dorian Strong, would love him to make the team. It's going to be between him and Dane Jackson. And I got to tell you what, I have heard a lot more positive reports from Dorian Strong than I have heard from Dane Jackson. So it's definitely looking that way. But again, it's still early. Second play, Greg Rousseau. All right, here you go, folks. Here you go. Ladies and gents, we're getting 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. Cole Bishop is in the medical tent. Great. Cole Bishop is in the damn medical tent, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely nuts. Things are going nuts. All right, so we have Cole Bishop. Let me go on ahead and get that one in there. Okay, perfect. I hate that. Hold up. Let me fix something real fast. Guys, we're finally starting to get some updates. Bear with me. But Cole Bishop is in the medical tent. Great, good, great, grand. All right. You have Deion Walker in on a tackle for loss versus the ones. Deion Walker with some pass rushing chops, ladies and gents. That is now official. Deion Walker making some damn plays. All right. How about this? Second play, Greg Rousseau into the backfield for a batted pass. Bills' top defensive line duo showing out on day 6. Folks, look at that. Look at that, baby. What was the first thing Brasky said, though? That's the question. That's the question so far. Team drills begin. Ed Oliver immediately bursts through the line to disrupt the first play, a handoff to James Cook. Oliver playing as if he has something to prove this summer. Ladies and gentlemen, we often don't talk about this, but TJ Sanders being drafted made Ed Oliver feel some type of way. I do not care what you think. It made him feel some type of way. That is not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing either, because that means that he's got something to prove. And I feel like all of us can be very happy about this. Finally, some defensive line. Finally, some defensive line updates, ladies and gents. Defensive line updates. You have Deion Walker with a tackle for loss with the ones. Ed Oliver with a tackle for loss. And Gregory Rousseau in the backfield as well. We are finally getting what we need right here. Walker would have been a first round last year's draft. Milano interception. Come on, Christian. Come on, Christian. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. What the actual F? And now Cole Bishop is off to the medical tent. We saw this. We saw this. We saw this. A Matt Milano interception, ladies and gentlemen, per our good friend Christian Vallone, who is in attendance at practice right now. Guys, listen. Matt Milano has been dominating against the run and being a downhill linebacker, but coverage was still a question. Can he still be the same coverage linebacker that he once was? Solid interception. I am waiting for the official update in here to see. Josh thought he had Kincaid wide open heading to the sideline, but Milano dropped off a running back in the flat, made an easy interception. 58 continuing to have a good run at camp here. Shout out to our good friend Matt Milano making some damn plays. Folks, we want this from the defense. We want this from the defense today, folks. It's Matt Milano season. Interception of Josh Allen near the sideline. Milano read the play, made a break, and picked it off. What a start to training camp. At the former All-Pro is in the building. We need Oliver to be that guy. His ceiling has to be reached. Dylan, it's great that the defense is dominating, but it a little concerning that Josh is throwing many picks. No, not at all. Not concerning whatsoever, man. So at this time is the time where the offense needs to experiment, and they're installing so many different pieces. Don't worry about picks right in training camp. It is the last thing you need to be concerned about. I don't want to hear the excuses about its summer camp and these injuries happen. It's pretty clear that Buffalo doesn't get it, and the defense is made of glass, ... again. I promise you, man, just go on ahead and look at injury reports for each and every single team. So just look at all of the injury reports for each and every single team. So I promise you that we are not even in the top 5 for most injured players. And we are certainly not as bad as some teams that have lost several guys for the season or 7 to 8 months. So trust me, you are fine. I think Dan is scared of Bob. I am definitely not scared of Bob. Defense made of glass only to realize no one has missed the game this year yet. We have Jamal Jones, DeMar or Derek having first-team reps with the injuries for Cole. I would assume DeMar, but let's see. All right, Matt Milano just intercepted Josh Allen on a play-action pass. With Bobby Babich was fired up, yelling and running down the field with Milano. 58 has looked great in camp so far. Josh thought he had Kincaid wide open. It's Matt Milano season. That's the last thing that we have updated so far. Let's lock it in. Crazy irony that Milano is crushing camp, but everyone else is getting hurt. And Trey White. Very ironic, right? So you have Tre'Davious White and Matt Milano, who are the 2 players that I think all of us were concerned about. He's fine. How Matt Milano's staying healthy when everybody else is gone, So did he pull a Space Jam or something like that and just steal the health from some of our other players? I'm not particularly sure. Derek Forrest. Is there a Derek Forrest update? Is there a Derek Forrest update? Let's see. Listen, man, we ended up signing him in free agency. And like that was something. Talking about injuries, the Dolphins cornerback room. It's a contact sport. Injuries happened. All these injuries are soft tissue. Dan is like Jake Paul, and he only fights guys with no arms. Relax, Eric. Relax, Eric. Needed to see Derek Forrest reps now. I'm interested to see what he did. Milano and Trey are back from the injuries. Dan's locked in today. Gently touch the like button. No, you better smash that like button. Folks, 668 of you in here rocking with me right now. 367 on YouTube. Say that you're just tuning in. I'm consolidating every single piece of information that comes out of camp. Shout out to all the beat reporters on here that are making this possible, where we have things to react to. I am just trying to be your source as you go about your workday, so you are one of the first to be informed and do not need to play catch up at the end of the day. I want to remind everybody as well, I am live all the time. So Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. EST, unpacking all of the major storylines, previews, speculation surrounding the Buffalo Bills. I hope you guys decide to stick around all season long because, damn, we have a good time over here. We have a great time over here, folks. So if you appreciate all of this, do me a favor and hit that like button. Let's get this like button well over to 350, guys. We have 237 thumbs ups hit. Let's go on ahead and get this up to 300. And so it takes less than a second, and it's going to help grow our family. Because wouldn't that be nice if 500 people were in here rocking with us right now, talking a little ball? Man, I would be feeling it. Does soft tissue mean this guy is soft? He needs a tissue? That's exactly what it means. That is exactly what it means. Oh, man. We have Milano is acting like his old self, brings tears to my eyes. Also, Tre'Davious White acting like his old self should be making you bawl. That's precisely. Dan, I'm going to the scrimmage on Friday. Have a great time, dude. Have a great time. Softly kiss the like button on the forehead. Yes, absolutely, folks. Christian Wilkins, the like button, folks. Christian Wilkins, the like button for us right now. All right. So still waiting on a couple of other updates. So we had a couple of things from the defensive line. So we saw Deion Walker. He got a tackle for loss. So did Ed Oliver. So did Gregory Rousseau. We have a Matt Milano interception. And what has been dominating the storylines thus far has been Maxwell Hairston on the ground and was later escorted off by the trainers per Carl Jones, showing us what is all going down with that team. Question/statement. If Milano and White are turning back time, this could be huge. How is Bosa doing? I have not heard a thing about Bosa just yet. I have not heard a thing about Bosa just yet. I think we all need to give Dan a thanks for giving us all of these updates. Listen, man, it's thanks enough that you guys are trusting me to be your consolidated source this morning during training camp. All I ask is that you stick around, all right? Stick around all season long and maybe tell a friend, right? Like, say, for example, you know a Bills fan that's rabid about this team and you think they might enjoy this show, and just mention your boy. All right, folks, we are trying to build this family to new heights in 2025. Like-minded individuals that know Buffalo is booking a one-way ticket to Santa Clara this year for the very first Lombardi Trophy. If Milano has a great year, do you see him re-signing or still going into free agency? So I think we'd probably still go to free agency or the draft. Next year, don't be shocked if round 1 and round 2 of the NFL draft goes linebacker and interior offensive lineman. We can switch around whichever you like, but I have a feeling Buffalo is going to be targeting a linebacker early in the draft next year. Hot take. Bishop is in. Okay, Bishop is back on the field with his helmet on. Folks, crisis averted. Cole Bishop is good. Cole Bishop is good. I repeat, he is fine. All right, that's good news. Listen, a lot of injury scares here and there, but things are looking good. And do the Bills work out Patterson? He was with Chris Tabor before in Chicago. I am 110% completely fine with that. I would be open to it, right? He did get released from Pittsburgh. I don't think that they used him appropriately. He was locked down in Atlanta. He's a very quality kick returner. I would be open to welcoming him in to camp. It just depends how the kick return battle is going. We have Laviska Shenault, who is also a very talented kick returner as well. I don't know. But as far as a vote, I would be very open to welcoming him in to camp. Brandon Day, Dan, I can't wait to see Mulatto and Benford together again, healthy. I think people forget how dominant they were at the beginning of last season before Mulatto got hurt. We are all waiting for the Bernard and the Milano connection to be out there. Lurking from Lindenville, New York, man. Shout out to the lurkers in the chat. Shout out to the lurkers. So the lurkers, folks, are typically about 75% of our live viewers, and that's completely fine, all right? It's no way near a requirement to be active in the live chat. But hey, man, listen, shout out to the lurkers, man, because their view is just as important to me. I am happy that you guys are sitting around. We're sitting here, we're talking a little bit of football. But again, don't be shy. If you want to come into the live chat and tell me what's on your mind and pertaining to practice, or you have a question for me, the line is always open. The line is always open, folks. But shout out to the lurkers in the chat, man. Those of you sitting back, relaxing, and watching a little ball. Terrion Arnold is just left practice with a hamstring injury. We have some Detroit Lions updates. For some reason, I thought Terrion Arnold was carted off a couple of days ago. Maybe I dreamt that. I don't know. These injuries are getting ridiculous. Welcome to the sport of football. So I'm not sure if this is based off of something that was reported a couple of minutes ago or it's something that's new. So far as injuries, Max Harrison left practice with a trainer with an apparent knee injury. Let me see if my boy Thigh Doctor has said anything about this yet. Has Thigh Doctor said anything about Max Harrison? Not yet. Not yet, man. We're going to have to ask him a little later for the injury analysis, and maybe we will have Thigh Doctor on the show later this afternoon, too, to break all this down. Both starting corners for the Pats, Gonzalez and Davis, aren't practicing today with injuries, just for some perspective. Guys, I promise you that once you compare all of the injury reports in NFL training camp, and the Buffalo Bills wouldn't even be in the top 5 right now. Wouldn't even be in the top 5. Terrion Arnold just left practice with a hamstring injury. I don't think we're going to see Bosa at all until the regular season. He's active and he has pads on. So, he was added on the PUP, I think, during minicamp, but he's active. How do you think the McDermott defense would have performed if we had Hyde, Poyer, Milano, and Trey healthy at the exact same time? What time period? So last year, I don't know. I really don't know. All right, so these injuries are still getting ridiculous per AJ Cebulski. Guys, we are creeping up to the 2-hour mark. I ask everybody to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications. We just crossed 44,000 subscribers, which is, super cool. I love this family that we're building on this platform. Smash that like button, though. Let's propel this like button out to 300 plus so we can welcome new Bills Mafia members into the conversation. It's super easy, folks. It is directly below this video. You may see the live chat. It's below. It's one giant thumbs up. Let's put all of this together. Dan, has there been any talk on how Landon Jackson has been doing? Nothing notable yet, Michael, but I am hoping once practice continues with 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s, or mostly 11-on-11s, we should be getting some updates. So far, so regarding some defensive linemen, we have seen Walker make a play for a tackle for loss. We saw Ed Oliver have a tackle for loss, and then Gregory Rousseau has made a splash. Those are the only 3 names in the trenches that I have heard anything from today, but it's still early. It is still early. Salt Lake City is in the building. Andrew, what is going on? Sorry I am late. How dare you, Mafia Madness? How dare you be late? Another one, Jalen Jones being carted off, grabbed his hamstring. So, folks, context is very important. Walker, nothing. He had a tackle for loss so far today. Stay tuned. Gonna be watching straight practice squad reps by Friday with these injuries. Geez. Okay, thank goodness. Hey, Dan, let's go Buffalo. That is a callback to it's my closing statement from back in the day. And do you think the injuries at this rate could be more detrimental to the team's success than the actual practice being beneficial? That right there is the million-dollar question, something that has been debated for a very, very long time. So I do think that there is value in being able to be caught up to speed into football movements. Say, for example, we just threw them out there week 1 and we asked these guys to go like full speed. Then I think we would be having very serious injuries and we would see all of these injuries skyrocket. It's basically a necessary evil, of course, is training camp, because it's equally important that these guys are brought up to speed and they can condition their bodies back into football shape leading up into actual contact and serious gameplay on week 1. So it's definitely worth it. But unfortunately, it does come with some injury scares. But say that we didn't do this, say that we didn't do training camp, then I could almost guarantee you that we would see a bloodbath all across the league. So it's a necessary evil. Dan, can we still get Asante Samuel Jr.? So I think right now, man, he's nothing but a name, right? So I was very high on the guy. But the fact that Asante Samuel Jr. is still left to be unsigned, it sounds like his injury is very serious. And it's not something teams are willing to roll the dice on. So while I guess it's technically possible, like right now, he's just a name. And unfortunately, his career must have been put on the back burner due to how serious this injury that he's been dealing with was. Taron Johnson reminding us who he is on day 6 Bills camp. Stride for stride with Dalton Kincaid. Middle of the field, reaches in for a pass breakup. Johnson has been a start on Tuesday. Shout out, Taron Johnson, most slept on slot corner in the damn NFL. Again, guys, giant shout out to Brasky for giving us all of these updates. All right. Go show him some love over on X and give him a follow, because without him, we would have nothing to react to. All right. Without him, we'd have nothing to react to. What about our free agency signings? Are they able to get to the speed that we need them to be? William, so far, so the big additions, so the large additions being Josh Palmer and Elijah Moore have had their share of headlines so far in camp. I'm very optimistic in both of the wide receivers. I'm still wishing I would hear some positive news from Bosa. He's been pretty quiet. I guess he's probably trying to slowly scale up, but of course, we will see. Davis wants to come back to the Buffalo Bills. Gabe Davis. I don't know if there's a spot for him, man. I don't. It was Scarin' Taron's birthday. It was his birthday a couple of days ago. Crazy that Cooper DeJean made the top 100 and Taron Johnson and Christian Benford won't. Well, hey, man, really? So at the end of the day, with the NFL top 100, it is all player voting as well. So unfortunately, we just have some guys, right, that are wildly slept on and do not have that national recognition that we all believe they deserve. That's how it works. Matt Mulatto with a trending up emoji. I feel like all of us are here. Bills off practice tomorrow, rest day, and will help a lot of guys. Practice Thursday, then scrimmage on Friday. Man, I'm ready for it. I believe we had Gabe Davis at his prime, and then after we let him go, that's when his health and everything started changing. So I honestly love Davis, but we don't need him. I would agree with you, William. I'm really not a proponent of bringing him back because I sort of feel like it's just redundant. So we have that receiver on the roster already, and that's Keon Coleman. So him and Keon Coleman are the exact same wide receiver. Dan, I don't think we're going to use Bosa till big games and very little time, but important time. Look, as long as he's a contributor one way or the other, I am going to be a happy camper. Indeed. I am going to be a happy camper. Folks, right now we are in the middle of team drills. Last update, we got Taron Johnson had a pass breakup against Dalton Kincaid. We had a couple of defensive linemen get tackled for losses as Buffalo is focusing on the 2-minute drill and also focusing on 3rd and long situations. So what does this defense look like? Don't be surprised if we see the defense win the day today. Do not be surprised in the slightest. And don't be upset about it either, because this Buffalo Bills offense has been dominating, and we need to have the defense to get a win in order for me to feel good, at least. In order for me to feel good, I agree. Shane has come on in. My only concern with Coleman is that he's not able to break from coverage, and I know he's bulked up this season, but he has been able to make gap distance. From what I understand, man, he's been creating separation. So one thing that tells me is that he's certainly been working on his route tree. Based off of some of the videos I've seen, it's hard to see. Like, so once we see right in the preseason game, and I'm super excited to break down film of that, because that's going to be something all of us need to pay attention to. He's reportedly creating separation even on Maxwell Hairston, who runs a damn 4.243. And Keon has not miraculously shaved off 0.6 seconds to his 40-yard dash either. I promise you that. So the only answer we have is that we must be seeing improvements in his route tree. And that's good, because he hit the podium. I think it was around minicamp where he said that he was very unhappy with his 2024 campaign, and he worked very hard this offseason. It sounds like, based off of his performance, that none of that was smoke. So I'm optimistic for him, man. I am optimistic. And folks, I do got to tell you as well, with Gabe Davis, exact same wide receiver. So dude was not very great at creating separation either. So we had a pick and pass breakup on attempts to Kincaid. Look at that, man. All right. Mitch Trubisky sighting. All right. Mitchy Biscuits, him and Mike White are lockstep in a QB2 battle as we speak, per Alex Brasky. Mitch Trubisky sighting, absolute bomb, deep right seam, hit newly acquired wide receiver Keon Coleman in stride. First big for Trubisky in camp. Kane already making an impact. Looked like he beat Dorian Strong. So Dorian Strong, folks, he is also in a camp battle with Dane Jackson, who ultimately ends up winning that battle, just getting beat by a wide receiver that was pulled off of the street just a couple of days ago. Keon Coleman, 50-yard bomb from Mitch for a touchdown. Some updates all over, folks. Guys, hit that thumbs up sign. We are starting to get some really notable updates from camp right here. I am dead set on keeping each and every single one of you informed. So, say, for example, that you were enjoying this. I guarantee you a lot of other people, a lot of other Bills fans would be enjoying this. Help me out and hit that thumbs up sign. Let's pump this up to over 300. I know that we can do it. Based off of everybody watching, that means there are 100 something of you that have not hit that thumbs up sign. It takes less than a second. Help me out. Come on, guys. We can get to 300. We're at 274. Bills training camp day 6 is underway. Xavier Worthy walked to medical tent after taking a hard fall. Again, guys, context is beautiful. We're not the only team dealing with injuries right now. The entire league is dropping like flies. But again, let's not pretend this happens each and every single year. We have these conversations every single training camp stream. This is nothing new. It's just recency bias that we forget that this is an ugly truth of this time of the year. Players are knocking the rust off and they're getting back up to football speed. Soft tissue things are going to happen. Tweaks are going to happen. So let's just cross our fingers and hope that nothing serious, of course, crosses our plate. But here we are. Breaking news: Bill signed Dan Mitchell for CB1 position for $1 penny guaranteed. Yeah, most definitely. I'm going to shop that around because one team wants to give me $1 guaranteed. So let's go with that. Didn't Coleman work with Reed this offseason? I don't know. Hey, Dan, if you could go back and redraft, would you take DeJean instead of Coleman? No. It's tough. So knowing what I know now, maybe, but I'm still optimistic on Coleman. Great question. Mitch Trubisky will be our starter week 1. I'm sick and tired of this Allen guy who keeps getting in the way of the 2nd overall pick, bro. Man. That's 10 out of 10 rage bait right there. Jets finally have a kicker. Rep New York, he's celebrating his kicker. They are always going to be extra careful. They have the day off tomorrow too, so hopefully Max will be good on 2 days of rest. I'm just sitting here patiently awaiting an actual update on what happened to Max Hairston. That's the biggest piece of news that has come out of this camp thus far. With Terrell Bernard still on the mend, Joe Andreessen with the first-team defense on day 6. Folks, for all of you Buffalo Joe fans, here is his opportunity. What does Buffalo Joe do with it? What does Joe Andreessen do with this opportunity? That is now official. Joe Andreessen is running with the ones. Folks, if you are just coming in, Buffalo is currently dedicating this practice to the 2-minute drill and 3rd and long situations. This spells a great opportunity for the defense to make us happy. All right, so stay tuned. While they are deep into practice right now, I do imagine a lot of updates are about to be crossing my screen here in just a second. Please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up sign, guys. Hit that thumbs up sign, and let's lock in. Your opinion on why the Eagles D looks so basic in the postseason Rams game, but looked like a world beater against the Kansas City Chiefs. And can we ever shut the Chiefs out? Great question, Sebastian. So I think that there are some things that you leave on the table, especially playing like right in the Super Bowl. Like you're going to have an entire scheme. Like you're pulling all the tricks out because you want that championship, right? That Eagles defense was legendary. And as far as us getting past the Chiefs, I mean, we got to do it sometime, right? So why not this year? Wait, don't we have a football game in 2 days? The Hall of Fame game, Lions versus Chargers, Thursday night, boys. Thursday night. And so am I going to waste time watching a bunch of Foot Locker cashiers play football on Thursday night? Absolutely, I am. Absolutely. That's how much I am ready for it, man. I am ready for it. All right. I'm not even convinced that the guys playing the game on Thursday night are actual people. All right. I am not convinced that they are real football players. Sometimes I think that both of those teams run a contest amongst the fans and they play that game. But I'm excited. I'm ready for football. I am ready for football. We probably won't get an official update on Max until Thursday unless a beat reporter hears something. Man. Let's talk about it. Chiefs are trash. Worst offense/defense to make the Super Bowl ever. Yikes. Neighbors is taken to locker room with a shoulder injury. So we have Kelvin, man. He is providing all this context. Folks, again, don't think that Buffalo is the only team dealing with this. Ty Johnson took a big hit from Joe Andreessen. Johnson is down having trainers look at his ankle. All right, another potential injury. Ladies and gentlemen, another potential injury right here per Mike Catalana. Daquan Hardy interception. Hardy an interception on White. Overthrown. Nice sideline catch, folks. Hey, look, that is what we are getting. A Daquan Hardy interception. Mike White threw the football. Sounds like our 2s and 3s are out there right now. Sounds like our 2s and 3s are out on the table. Dang, another one. Come on, man. Come on, baby. Ravens for life. Dalton is a bust. Y'all just have to come to reality. It's okay. It happens. Bro, listen. So here's the deal. Like, you have to stop being annoying this year. Like, I'm fine with you being in here, but like, just stop coming in here and trolling. Like, last year was cool, was like funny for 3 seconds, but say that you're here to talk ball, you're more than welcome to, but just stop. So just stop trolling as much as you can. Okay. Thank you. What are your thoughts on Rapp's friendly fire problem? He bangs up 2 to 3 teammates a year with missed full speed hits. I know, man. Wouldn't that be ideal? Did Buffalo Joe just injure the best 3rd down running back in the league? I don't know how to feel. He's fine. He's fine, guys. Trust me. I hate injuries. Bubble wrap everybody. As a Jets fan, I'm surprised Mike White on the Bills after Matt Milano crushed his ribs. I mean, look, they ended up getting off with it. This year is Dalton's make or break year for sure. I love Rapp. Look at that. Ray is coming in. Just another meat riding Lamar fan, Dan. Make sure you ignore him. It's fine. So I welcome trolls right in my live play-by-play reactions, but yeah. So as far as my morning show, and so it just ruins the show. So I'm fine with people coming in and like saying like funny jokes and stuff like that, but like some people just berate the chat all the time. So I would go on ahead and I would just recommend, bro, like you are more than welcome to hang out with us and talk football, but like just don't be annoying. And don't distract my audience for the love of God, because nothing kills me when I have to deal with people and like, you know, sort of having arguments with each other. It ruins the show. Have a good day, my boy. Finns are coming for the division. See, that is fine. That is completely fine. That is good. Who won that divisional round game? Look at that. Here we are. Anyway, let's go. One to monitor, Bills rookie first-round pick, cornerback Maxwell Hairston left practice early with a right knee injury. He was able to walk away slowly to help with trainers. We're going to have to wait for this. Has Lamar beat the Bills in the playoffs ever? So do we know anything about Maxwell Hairston? Not yet. All I'm hearing is injury, interception, injury, pick with a tackle for a loss being sprinkled in. Or am I tripping? Not with Tua. What happened to the troll toll? It's done. It's just annoying. Moore will have better stats than Coleman. And did you see how good Travis Hunter is looking today? I haven't, but I'm definitely going to be taking a look at it. Man, I want my Finns to win this division, but there's no way in hell that's going to happen. Maybe go 1v1 versus Buffalo at best. Lamar is a bust come playoff time. Fourth quarterback, where did he come from? He is a rookie. Let's talk about it. So the troll toll is going to come back for live play-by-play reactions and instant reactions, like once the Buffalo Bills end up losing. But as far as shows like this, it's just a waste of my time. And it's a waste of y'all's time as well. And I'm trying to make sure that we have a good show for the most part. I like that. Fact it's been this long and no update on Harrison probably isn't good news. I wouldn't say that. The bug is floating around. Folks. Let's get some stuff. Next person that trolls a comment is gone for the day. Yeah, guys, listen. So I'm fine with raising concerns. But like, say that like you say, oh, so-and-so's trash, just accept it. Or the Bills suck. Like, yeah, dude, like you're done. Man. Like, I am not here to have I'm not here to have childish conversations. That is for sure. Look at that novel, folks. So the injury is really piling up for the Bills through the first 6 days of camp. Surprisingly enough, folks, I would not be surprised if this is not even top 5 in the NFL already. One to monitor, Bills rookie first-round pick CB Maxwell Hairston left practice early with a right knee injury. He was able to walk away slowly to help with the trainers. Is there any news on Tyler Bass? No, not yet. We have Jesse in the chat. I need to hear that Bishop can make some plays. I don't have a lot of faith in him right now. Unfortunately, how it's looking, my friend, is that it sounds that he's been getting burnt in coverage quite a bit. But hopefully he can make plays, man. If not, then I guess we just run with Damar Hamlin again. Because I'll tell you what, I've heard a lot more positive things about Damar Hamlin than I have heard about Cole Bishop. It's muggy AF today, so lots of cramps is what we're talking about. Deshaun Santiago's in the building. Hey, Dan, I don't care about the injuries, even though we have too many, but I feel that it only matters when it's close to the playoffs. What is your opinion on this? So this is just a necessary evil. Like, that's what it is. It is just a necessary evil. It's going to happen. And again, not a lot of teams are in a different scenario. Like Buffalo is probably not even in the top 5 for most injured players going into camp. With so many injuries at the wide receiver position, Deon Cain and Christian Wilkerson and Steven Gosnell were just the wide receivers lined up for Josh Allen during team drills. Holy hell, folks. Those are all the wide receivers lined up with Josh Allen in one of these drills based off of some of the injuries we are dealing with. You have Shavers, you have Curtis Samuel, you have Caden Prather, you have KJ Hamler, and you have Elijah Moore, who has returned. So we still have all of our starters. It just seems like depth pieces seem to be a problem. We play a zone, so going 1-1 is not ideal in my opinion. That's where Kyer struggled. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, what's the word on Tyler Bass? He's still not participating. Why do the Bills keep signing and holding practices for receivers instead of DBs? We just picked up a receiver from the UFL. We are really bad off as far as wide receiver depth, as far as injuries. So we just need bodies out there, Jake, right? So we just need bodies for these training camp reps. That's half of the reason why they're brought in the first place. Madden announced that Lamar's 99 rating will only be available when Derrick Henry is on the field. Look at that. Good morning, Dan. I'm curious, what do you think about us not having drafted a safety? That was a huge need last year, and we don't have someone to develop. Thoughts on that? So I think, like, when it comes into it, safety is probably the least important position on any defense, especially since quarterbacks really don't stretch the field as much as they have. So the average depth of target for a quarterback right to his weapon has slowly but surely been decreasing each and every single year as far as average depth of target. So now offenses really aren't stretching the field as much as they did, especially compared to 2020 and 2021. Most teams are getting away with having average safety play as long as they just play 2 high safeties. That's likely what Buffalo's thinking. Ty Johnson back on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Ty Johnson back on the field. I hear Max Hairston has a knee injury, FYI. I haven't seen any update on that just yet, but we will keep you up to date. Madden, and they speak the truth for the most part. Test funny. Ty Johnson back on the field. Go Bills. Thank you, Ty Johnson. Thank you. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Ty Johnson back on the field as we speak. 750 of you are rocking with me right now. That's great news. 384 of you are on YouTube. 348 are on X. Guys, if you could do me a favor, smash that like button. Let's propel this YouTube stream out to the Bills Mafia world so more people that are wanting to stay entertained can be entertained. We are 8 away from 300. Let's at least get the 300 like buttons, folks. Let's lock in. Cole Bishop into the medical tent. The injuries continuing to pile up. Bishop is back on the field. Bishop has not returned to team drills. Bishop has not returned to team drills, but he's back on the field with a helmet, okay? Johnson is back on the field. Has returned to the field. Back on the field with a helmet. Okay. It's the injury bug is floating around. So what I need are actual updates. People are just once again fixating on all the injuries, and I get it. But what is his team looking like? You can hate on the Bills' safeties all you want, but they were still ranked in the top of the league for limiting big plays. They were. It's just names, right? It's just names. Like when people see a name like Damar Hamlin, so they automatically think that he sucks. Dude, he's not a top 10 safety, but like he's not. And so the worst in the league. Like he's probably like a mid-range safety. That's really all you need. So not many elite defenses have an elite safety. Like maybe with the exception of Kyle Hamilton with Baltimore, with several crazy good defenses out there, like safety is typically not their top 5 best players on that unit. It's just how it is. So safety really has never really been much of a concern to me. Right outside of the obvious player, which player would you most likely don't want to have a serious injury? So right outside of the most obvious, I'd say Deion Dawkins would be a massive blow. With Hancock taking safety reps with no Bishop first time. Okay, dude, we have Hancock coming in showing a little bit of love. And do you consider Jesse Bates as a still top safety? So despite his age, for sure, he's still a dog. Us Bills fans were blessed with elite safeties for so long, it's forgotten, but it's like having just decent guys. Exactly. Sean, I noticed with our fan base, say that a player on our team is not top 3 in the NFL. They say that they aren't good. I feel like it's every fan base, right? Okay. Spectre is also mixing in with the ones, folks. Same thing with Bishop has not returned to team drills. Come on, man. Let me get some damn updates from practice. Hamlin is serviceable. He is serviceable. Bates is only 28, though. He was at least 30. He's solid, dude. He's still a good safety. And so I agree with Hamlin is serviceable, but that the defense needs its playmakers, still holding out hope that Bishop can become one of them. I feel like we all are. Dan, what do I do if I'm hurt in a car? My friend, if you are hurt in a car, you better call William Mattar. #1 car accident attorney in the state of New York. I wouldn't wish a car accident on anybody, but say that it does happen. All right? Call William Mattar. And you already know what it is. Shout out to William Mattar for being a proud sponsor of this channel. And we can still hope Bishop can develop. Absolutely. Please not Spectre. I know. He is an absolute liability out there. Allen just hit a bomb to Gosnell. Okay, Josh Allen just ended up throwing a bomb to a Madden-generated player, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this. QB1 truly does elevate whoever is a wide receiver out there. Suit me up. Suit me up, ladies and gentlemen. Suit me up out there. I will run routes with them boys. I certainly will. Josh Allen, first bomb of training camp. 50-yard throw and catch to wide receiver Steven Gosnell. Hit him in stride. Great throw for the TD. I already know some of you are midway typing, Dan, should Gosnell make this team? I already know some of you are in the middle of typing that, all right? But that's okay. Hey, listen, it's training camp. We can get excited. Bomb to Steven Gosnell. Bomb to Steven Gosnell, baby. All right, dude. Who the hell is Steven Gosnell? All right, Dad, have you considered installing some sort of theme music for the start of your show? So I used to have some theme music at the beginning of the show. I kind of stepped away from it, but I'm still open to some theme music. I'm still open to it, man. Josh is throwing to a bunch of Chuck E. Cheese employees. Doesn't matter, all right? A 50-yard bomb is a 50-yard bomb. Thad Brown tweet shows Bosa in the mix on that play. Thad, talk to me. Gosnell, deep TD catch from Josh was wide open. Bosa had pushed Osiris deep into the pocket, and Josh still got a throw off. So Bosa's making some impact here. And having a quality rep with Osiris Torrance is not something to scoff at. So that is absolutely huge. We have Ty Johnson and Cole Bishop have both returned to team drills. Good news, folks. Good news. Ty Johnson, Cole Bishop have returned to team drills. That is a solid update. Gosnell going in. He is now back with his teammates holding his helmet. All right. Come on. Talk to me now. Senke has come in. If Hamlin was serviceable, 31 other teams would have been interested during free agency. Dude. And so I really, dude, listen, man. So I love you, dude. I really love you. But like, you got to be like top 3 most miserable fans I've ever met my entire life. I love you, dude. I need you to be positive. I need you to have some sort of positivity, my boy. Because damn, dude, you are top 10 most miserable fan I've ever met in my entire life. I haven't seen a positive comment out of you in like 5 years. All right. I love you, but holy hell, man. All right, listen. From now on, like, you cannot give me a negative comment until you give me 5 positive ones. All right. That's the new rule on Senke. I'm not mad at Senke. I love Senke, but holy hell, talk about a vibe killer, dude. Holy hell. We're excited here. We're excited about camp, man. Good God, man. Good God, bro. Anyway, Gosnell is a rookie. Yes, he is. How about your... Oh, so you want me to throw in some Nickelback? I'm okay with that. What's up? DeMar was actually pretty solid last year. Stop crying. Dan, you're about to get a lot of sarcasm. I know I am. Hairston injured now. Yes, he is, unfortunately. How do you know he wasn't offered money elsewhere but did accept it or wasn't worth it? Come on, man. Question. I saw that Gabe Davis was released. And based on wide receivers getting injured, do you think they would get Gabe back? I don't believe so. A one hitter quicker. Make them look like Charles Entertainment Cheese employees, though. I like that. Why is this comment considered negative? There is truth to that statement. I don't understand, bro. Matsy, you are number 2 on the most miserable fan that I've ever met my entire life. I love you, dude. That's not a slight to you. I'm just saying. A lot of us think that each and every single person on this team needs to be top 5 in the league. I'm sorry, but due to the cap, that is nearly impossible. Hamlin's coverage grades were solid. Outside of a couple of reps, and even the elite players in this league have bad reps. It's how it is. I promise you there are worse safeties out in the league. He is serviceable. He did not beat out Mike Edwards last year for the starting free safety position because Buffalo felt bad for him. I think that is a silly way of looking at things. It's very silly. Hamlin won the job fair and square. He was the second best safety on the team, hence why he ended up getting the starting nod. And so far, he's outperforming Cole Bishop again. It's how it is. Guys, listen, please understand. Madden has poisoned our minds here. It is impossible to have a top 5 player at every single position. Every team has weaknesses across the board. And for the most part, based off of cap, I feel like we're okay. Bills cornerback Max Harrison left the field Tuesday with what appeared to be a right knee leg injury. More, including video of Hairston with trainers, plus Trey White's excellent goal line session, the return of Dalton Kincaid, but more injuries are piling up once again. Gosnell deep catch, Josh Allen first bomb. That is what we have to say. The truth cuts deep, but say less. Not going to inflate players when their ceilings have been displayed. Senke, dude, listen. So if you want the Buffalo Bills to have a top 5 player at every single position, I recommend dusting off Madden, okay, and building the roster, because that's the only way that is going to happen. Stephen R., how the hell did Bass get injured? His pelvis is a problem. Do you get why we swapped Dorian Williams for Matt last year while he was playing amazing? I'm assuming when it came into Matt Milano by itself, he was still sort of ramping up. Had to be careful with all of his reps. We get to finally see some sort of football news and y'all finding anything to complain about. I mean, dude, listen, it's just annoying. J-Tech, not every player can be elite on your team. And the only problem Hamlin has is that he's smaller than we would like. William, look. So I think that we think it's one or the other. So it's either that like it's not that a player can be elite or trash. I feel like a lot of people that hate on Damar Hamlin fail to recognize that there is something called a middle ground. There's something called a middle ground. Not every player is either elite or trash. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So is he the best player that we have? No. So is he top 10, top 15? No. But would you say that he's 40th ranked right in the league and he shouldn't be starting? No. Come on, dude. Come on. Say that you want a real player that truly sucks. It's Bale Inspector. That is a player that's an absolute liability, but he's not starting for a reason. That's a player that truly sucks. Say that we want to hop on here, then we can go with that. Rumor is Maxwell Hairston tore his ACL. Is that confirmed? I haven't heard anything about him potentially tearing his ACL. Dan is like a new son to me. He can do no wrong. Do not mess with my Bills or my children. Holy shit. I like that. Make a video of you and Bob running Oklahomas. You don't want that. Dustin Stella. Not everyone can be elite like Gosnell. Shout out Gosnell. Shout out to the Madden-generated players. Clayton having a rough day. Got an education from Bosa a few snaps ago and just allowed Jackson to impact a short swing pass. So Bosa making an impact. Bosa sounds like he's making a slight impact on the defensive line. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like Tua, he's not elite, but he's not complete trash. He is at least good at spot throwing, right? There are things. Bro, why you hate on Spectre? I don't mind him. He is a liability in coverage. He is a dude. Chill on the propaganda for Gosnell. There is no way Hairston tore his ACL and then just walked it off. Yeah, likely not. It's not confirmed. Question, is the Hall of Fame game on Prime too? I don't know if it is. Maybe. I already ordered my Gosnell jersey. Holy hell, man. Clayton is a lost cause. He's never going to play a snap. He's just a nice guy, right? Did not appear the way he was moving that Hairston tore anything in his knee. Best case scenario is a low ankle sprain. And that's me speaking from zero medical background. That's why we have Thigh Doctor on the show. That helps us out. Bills' first round cornerback Max Hairston suffers potential serious knee injury. Okay. All right, folks. We need to make a little TikTok here. We need to make a little TikTok here. All right, folks. So here's some influencers in the wild. So I'm about to make a little TikTok video. By the way, guys, say for example that you want more some of the NFL news like league wide, go follow me over on TikTok or Instagram at Real Dan Mitchell. That is where you will be able to see these videos in person. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to be kidding me. It sounds like first round pick cornerback Maxwell Hairston for the Buffalo Bills may have had a knee injury or may have gotten himself a knee injury, if you will. That sucks. Take two. Ladies and gentlemen, terrible news coming out of Bills camp. First round pick cornerback Maxwell Hairston was down on the ground, and we're hearing a lot of speculation that it might be a knee injury. We're hoping this is not the case, but here's the video. Let's lock this in. Now, unfortunately, it happened right at the beginning of day 6 with pads on at Bills training camp. I believe it was during a one-on-one rep wide receiver and DB drill. As you can see, Max Hairston was on the ground for a considerable amount of time. He did walk off of the field, of course, with the assistance of this trainer, but it's something to watch out for. Now, Buffalo has hit the injury bug very hard so far this offseason. One thing I always like to tell Bills fans is that we are not the only organization going through this. We are seeing guys drop left and right. And this is nothing new league-wide. This is something that happens each and every single year as the guys are ramping up into full football speed and full football shape. But I will keep you updated on this. Let's cross our fingers and hope that he has avoided something detrimental. Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Like and follow for more daily NFL content. Bang, bang. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Smash the like button. Dylan, his name is Goatnell now. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, folks. All right, let's see. Here is the interception from Matt Milano. The guy is surging. Folks, Matt Milano out here making plays. Matt Milano comes in with an interception. First round pick already. Let's go, Milano. Okay, listen, we need to wait for some more updates, but let me edit up this video. Let's get this going. Bang, bang. It is posted. Improved pass rush will help our corners, but still, hopefully, Hairston will be good. This is now a Stephen Goatnell fan club. Folks, it sounds like that okay. So we have some new propaganda right this season. Now it appears, folks, that we are all hopping on the Stephen Goatnell train. All right. The one guy that caught a 50-yard bomb from Josh Allen. Dorian Strong has to step up if this injury is serious. It's not even so much that. It's Tre'Davious White, who has been having a hell of a camp so far, might I say myself. We cannot be upset about what he has been putting out at the table, but it's interesting. 31 years young, Matt, my man, showing us he still has it. I can't remember the last time Milano played a full season. Neither can I, Carly. DF forever, I'm just saying. DF is in the chat. Good morning, DF. How you doing? Welcome into the show, man. Welcome into the show. Guys, we are 2 hours and 30 minutes into this bad boy. I need some more updates. We have Josh Allen dapping up Stephen Gosnell. Dude, it's Stephen Goatnell. Stephen Goatnell. That's exactly what I'm just tweeting, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Yo, I just joined the stream. Is there any update on Stephen Goatnell relaxing? Okay. Thigh doctor, check it. Okay, thank God for Thigh Doc. Thank God for the doc himself. Oh, shit. Checking ACL on Mad Max Hairston. Some long words. Looks bad. Hope for the best. It's Tre'Davious White season, folks. It is Tre'Davious White season. This might be the worst case scenario. Folks, we have already looked at the video ad nauseum from Maxwell Hairston. It happened at the very beginning of practice. And now when we go to Thigh Doctor, we've all been anxiously awaiting his answer on this or his analysis. Thigh Doctor believes that Mad Max Hairston potentially has torn his ACL. It's not confirmed. It's not confirmed. We haven't heard from camp yet. But I trust Thigh Doc. He typically knows what he's talking about. That sucks. That sucks. I am almost at a loss of words right now. I am almost at a loss of words right now, ladies and gents. We have Jamarcus Ingram in the kick return, punt return this year. Do you see the vision? Another pass breakup for White against Palmer. All right, folks, listen. Let's get some damn positive updates in here since one of our corners went down. Bills injuries continue to multiply at St. John Fisher. Max Hairston is the latest to go down. Wide receiver Stephen Gosnell is going to be a thing this preseason. Trey White continues to shine, matched up with Josh Palmer, and White goes the pass breakup. More good stuff from White. Guys, sounds like we have a player in Tre'Davious White. The return of Tre'Davious White seems to be just going insane right now. Seems to be going insane. Matt Milano's stock up through the roof. His stock up is good. It looks like Trey White might be that guy. Yes, Carly. How the hell is it an ACL if he was able to walk on it? And there have been a couple of times where like we've seen some players walk off with an ACL. Like you can still walk on it. It just hurts, right? And depending how serious so the issue is, guys, if he checked his ACL and was concerned, he wouldn't pick him up with one hand. They would call the cart. I mean, let's hope for the best. Players faking it. It is too hot. Hot take. Trey White for comeback player of the year. That would just warm my heart. See, I told you Trey gave Harrison that voodoo magic and gave him that ACL thing. Being jinxed Harrison by bringing Trey back. It could be a sprained ACL. It could be. We have great players to back up the fallen. That's the positivity I need. Carl Knight, sorry, brother. Justin Fields is taking that bad player or the comeback player of the year. We have Fields is what we're saying. Prayers up for Maxwell. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Trey White continues to shine, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Palmer and White got the pass breakup. More good stuff from White. Dude, I'm not going to lie. White's been owning Josh Palmer today. Trey White has been owning Josh Palmer today. That's a good sign. Why can't we ever have good luck? I'm telling that they could call the cart if they would have thought that the ACL was torn. It could be a sprained ACL. We don't know. Maybe Trey stole Harrison's young, healthy knees. Yeah, while he was asleep. Lunt and Forrest are fighting. Chase Lunt and Forrest are fighting, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we have from Dustin, who may be at practice. First team, move the ball, period. Short run, dump to Cook. Third and second, no one open. Josh throwaway. And so the offense tries again. Run for nothing. Sanders, Walker at DT. Short Keon throw. Third and about 8. Josh tries to squeeze deep to Palmer. Deep again, covered 2. Trey easily knocks it away. Second scuffle of training camp. This one is a bit more intense than the first. Rookie offensive lineman Chase Lunt and safety Derek Forrest are involved. The first update I hear from camp from Derek Forrest just so happens to be him throwing hands. Just so happens to be him throwing hands. I'm not sure how you want to take that, but that is where we are. That is where we are, folks. Bang, bang, bang. Why are the Bills cursed with significant injuries each and every single year? So again, RK, it's definitely not the only team that's dealing with this. And so like I've told people, like we're likely not even in the top 5 for an injury report. It's just something that happens at camp, right? Like you come off of an off season and you can have a quality off season of like making sure your body is ready, but there's only so much you can do. Like not having actual contact and being out and running at full speed is a shock to many's bodies. That's why you see so many players leaving the field with injuries. And so that's all over the league. So we saw Xavier Worthy went into the tent today. We saw same thing with the Neighbors. He went into the tent with something. I'm not sure if they have returned or if their day is done, but unfortunately, training camp is a necessary evil. And we see these things all the time. Second scuffle of the day, Chase Lunt, Derek Forrest are going at it. No news is better than bad news. I am a Forrest believer. Hollywood Brown leaving practice in the cart. No way. Is that real? Is that real? Let me see. That is true. Yeah, no, it's true. So Chiefs wide receiver Hollywood Brown is going back to the facility in the front seat of a cart, and athletic trainers were looking at his lower leg. We'll get an update from Andy Reid after practice. So who else was down? Neighbors? Let me see. He's fine. So Neighbors is fine. So no issue there, folks. Yeah, no issue there. But still with Hollywood Brown being carted off, that's something. Dan, what is the source from one of the beat reporters with the Kansas City Chiefs? Caleb and the Chiefs just had a fight as well. And today is some morning with all of these injuries. It's Black Tuesday, folks. It's Black Tuesday right now when it comes into players just falling down. 409 of you are in here rocking with me. Guys, I want to remind everybody that I'm consolidating each and every single piece of information that comes out of camp, so that way you do not need to play catch up at the end of the day. If you appreciate that, guys, all I ask is that you just hit that thumbs up sign and propel this out to the YouTube algorithm. I'm trying to make sure that we can build the largest and strongest family on YouTube when it comes into Bills fans. Same exact thing with NFL fans. Make sure you hit that thumbs up sign and subscribe to the channel as well. We are going for 100,000 subscribers this year. I know it's a lofty goal, but subscribe and turn on bell notifications. I am live Monday through Friday all year long at 9 a.m. EST, breaking down everything that has to do with the Buffalo Bills. Kansas City lost Worthy and Brown now. Geez, it's the heat, Dan. I hope so. Dan, and do you believe in Jordan Hancock? I still got to see, man. I still got to see. Worthy went back to practice. That's good. Bills. So the Bills, with the injuries, continue to multiply. Good training camp food right here, if you will. I get why Bills fans are always worried about injuries because of the many playoff losses. Absolutely. Yo, Dan, what up, dude? Yo, 3D, what's up, man? Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Had to show Colby some love. Is Colby live right now, bro? Let me see if Colby's live. He is live. That's my guy. It's my guy, dude. He's live. He's doing his thing. We have Jimbo Cooks asking if I believe in Jordan Hancock. I certainly believed him in college. Can he be that? We have players are larger, faster, stronger, and injury rampant for sure, man. For sure. Yeah, he is. He's live. He's ready to do his thing. Let's get it going, folks. All right. So it seems like practice seems to be like trending down. So we really didn't get a lot of updates of actual practice, which is kind of frustrating. I feel like the dominant story here today had to do with Maxwell Hairston being down on the field. And you best believe I'm going to be watching an update on this. So we will see. So are you going to play Madden 26? I am going to be playing Madden 26, man. Scale to 1 to 10, how worried are you about Max? So hearing from Thigh Doctor is never ideal. It is optimistic that he did walk off the field somewhat with assistance from the trainers. So best case scenario, he could have sprained his ACL. He could have sprained his MCL, and he just needs a couple of weeks. But why I feel so encouraged about this has to do with the performance from Tre'Davious White. He has been nothing but lockdown thus far, and that is ideal. That is ideal from what we are seeing. Good training camp food. First team move the ball, period. Hell yeah. Let's get it going. What about Landon? I have not really seen with any sort of credible update from this guy real fast. We have Xavier Worthy is fine now, but Hollywood Brown was sitting in the front seat. Doesn't look too serious. Hopefully all is well. Even though we had a lot of injuries, we at least found out wide receiver number 1, Stephen Goatnell. Stephen Goatnell is real. Stephen Goatnell is in the building. I like that. I like that. What about Landon? Dan, here is some positivity. Happy National Chicken Wing Day. That's interesting you say that because I was thinking about where I should go to grab some lunch. I think I now have my answer. Maybe I need to run up and grab myself some wings. It's definitely not compared to what I can find up in Buffalo, but here we are. 392 of you in here rocking with me right now, folks. So it seems like camp updates are slowing down. For those of you that are in attendance right now at camp, let me know, have things slowed down at camp or is camp over with? Let me know. Let me know if practice is over with. What is the best pickup you think would be best for our defensive line? What was the best pickup? I'd probably say Larry Ogunjobi, but we're not going to see him until week 8, which sucks. And Bosa, as long as he can ultimately end up hitting his ceiling, that's going to be ideal. It's lunchtime, Dan. It certainly is lunchtime. It's National Boneless Chicken Wing Day. No, sir. No, sir, with the boneless, man. We had that conversation yesterday. Weston. And so I will be getting back on show soon. Like said, you were asking. We have JTL. You can never go wrong with some bussin' ass wings. National Boneless Chicken Wing Day. Yep, I need your rants back. Dude, rants are always ideal. Did someone accidentally type Goatnell instead of Gosnell? Is that the joke? It's the joke. It's supposed to be Gosnell, but now he is all our favorite to make this team. He is now officially the camp sweetheart. He is now officially the camp sweetheart. All right, folks. I think that's going to have to do it with updates. I'm going to hop off because I am starving. I will be on later on 4th and Forever. A lot to discuss on our daily NFL news show. 2 hour, 45 minutes. I will be accepting callers a bit later. I am going to be doing my afternoon stream a bit earlier today because I have plans this evening. But smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't had an opportunity of doing so already. And I will see you next time. Love y'all. Peace.